Oh, well, everybody know who I want next. I want Terence Crawford next.
You're going to make that happen?
Huh?
You're going to make that happen?
Oh, definitely. That's the fight that I want. That's the fight everybody else wants. Like I said, I'm going to get these straps that I'm going to go over there and take his shit too.
All right. Errol, congratulations. Terrific fight this evening.
Thank you, man. Down. Strap season. Y'all know what time it is, baby. Terrence, I'm coming for that motherfucking belt.
All right.
I'm not catching fades anymore. Gotta keep my hands clean when they come for the board. Keep it smooth like a dawn, making moves in the dark. Cause I learned how to swim in the pool full of sharks. Now they coaches, cause they can't read all his motions. How the kid never switch codes, but he code switch focus. Staring down your team with a frozen, ice cold look that could end the summer solstice. Cause I'm more like the top dog. Keep on running game and the gang will accost y'all. I be calling plays from a plane while I'm off court. But we ain't the same, you a lame, I'm a mob star. Actually, I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes. I'm the kingpin. They know I'm a dog and a beast, man. Yeah, I keep the peace with a piece, man. I ain't got no time for appeasement. Why would I respond to a pawn? I'm the... Hold up.
If I let my dogs off the leash, then you might want to get out of Dodge while they eat. Honestly, think it's not the blood and the beat, and they don't leave anything behind after eating.
I can see you soft, ever thought about retreating. If you never have, then they'll give you a reason. Better watch your tone, lose your bass when you speaking. Underneath the mask is the wrath of a... When you learn how to smile in their face, then go cutthroat. Then they want to call you a con when the blood cold. I remember starving while y'all had a truckload. Now I'm with the mob with the call and the gusto. I'm a top dog on a stat sheet. Off court, but I call plays for the athlete. Laughing when the cop cars try to catch me. Cause I rolled off in a taxi. Put my feet up, I'm relaxing. Singing Figaro with no accent. While I pull strings from the streets in. Do it all with a straight face, I'm the kingpin. Top dog, top flow, boss mode. I'm the kingpin. Showstopper, top dog, God vibes. I'm the kingpin.
Oh man, finally we got a fight that's big time. You know what I'm saying? That's something that's really, that captured the imagination. The way boxing. What's going on, Brandon? What's going on, Be That God? What's happening, bro? Jeff R, what's happening, my brother? Glad to see y'all still rolling with me. Y'all know I'm a real boxing channel. I ain't here for the clout. You know what I'm saying? We are here for boxing, man. And boxing, it has changed. You know what I'm saying? And I'm dealing with the change in the boxing. I don't want to pay for this shit if they're not going to put on some real fights. I want to see, I'm kind of spoiled because, I've been watching boxing for about 40 years. And I'm used to the fighters wanting to be the best. These guys that's fighting today, I know boxing channels got to try to dig deep to find a lot of shit to say about these guys, but the way they moving, man, it's just like it just don't move me to motivate me to, talk about them. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I really don't like them. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not really trying to fight the best, and I see that, and I want to come on here and complain day after day about who's not fighting who. That shit is exhausting, man. I want to see. I'm from the time when fighters wanted and they wanted to see if they was better than the next guy. Now these guys, they're practicing ducking, you know what I'm saying? And it's like on a high level, they're trying to fight the easiest guys. I don't want to see that shit. I don't want to see that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not even a fan of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? So I took a hiatus because it's too much work. It's too much work to make videos about fighters that you don't even like. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I see a few guys like, Brian Norman, trying to, bring it back. I see my boy, in Philly, I forgot what his name is, Boots. You know what I'm saying? He's trying to, bring something back, but they can't get no traction because nobody wants to fight like in the old days. You know what I'm saying? All these guys are ducking. You know what I'm saying? And that just demoralize how I feel about this sport. People are just trying to make big events and make money. You know what I'm saying? And we got Tank fighting goddamn what's the white guy name? Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. I'm just like, bro, you supposed to fight Lamont Roach, Ratback, especially in a controversial, what I'm saying, fight that they had. And I'm just like, what is going on, bro? Where is your pride? Where is your pride? I'm looking at Errol Spence Jr., who didn't even try to come back. You know what I'm saying? Even though I don't know what's going on with him, but why is he not fighting? It's like, so, and that was one of my favorite. I don't know, that was my favorite fighter. So it's like, what is going on with the spirit of these boxers? I mean, you don't have to put all your business in the street. You really don't. But if there's something wrong with you, you know what I'm saying? You don't take the biggest, you wait till you're healthy. You know what I'm saying? If something's going on behind the scenes with Tank, let people know. You know what I'm saying? It's like you don't have to fight. The people understand, and you know what I'm saying, they give you some grace. But when you go out there and you the baddest man on the planet, you go out there and you knocking out 15 people out cold, you know what I'm saying, and you look spectacular. You know what I'm saying? People want to see more of that. You know, people want to see what you got. They want to see a consistent, meanness. You know what I'm saying? They want to see that consistent performance. And these guys, they just don't want to do it. They act like they reluctant to get into the ring with each other. It's been about 10 years now, and Tank haven't fought Shakur or Devin. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why. I'm not saying he's scared, but because we've seen him in the ring, we've seen their skill, but I'm just tired of looking at him. I'm tired of hoping. And I just don't like the reluctance. That shit, it heals your spirit for the sport. And we work as content creators, we work hard, man. Behind the scenes, you have to keep up with the research. And then I'm working. And it's like, come on, man, this used to be my passion to get on here and go look up, you know what I'm saying, what's going on in the sport. But y'all feel me because y'all talked to me and y'all feeling the same way because we're pure boxing fans. You know what I'm saying? We don't want to hear all that pussy punk ass shit. You know what I'm saying? We want to see the real. We want to see when Roy Jones Jr. and Bernard Hopkins fought. That was some real tension there. It wasn't none of that old soft ass shit. These guys that talk about, damn, the sun got to come out. It's got to be an eclipse. Mars got to be behind Jupiter. You know what I'm saying? And all this shit got to happen. And then by that time, your whole spirit is gone for the fight because look like they're looking for excuses not to make the fight. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't understand that what they don't understand. They don't care about legacy no more, man. They just don't. Even Oscar De La Hoya, who I despise, he's been saying that boxing is soft as shit. And he, that Oscar De La Hoya was a bad motherfucker. Even win, lose, or draw, Oscar went out there and fought the black people. He fought the Mexicans. He didn't give a damn. And I love that about him, even though he's a weirdo in some spaces, he's just a weirdo rich guy. But when it comes to boxing, and he got rid of that Canelo and he started telling the real, Oscar De La Hoya is telling you, he said, this era of fighters suck, right? We got a few here and there, but they're killing the spirit of the real boxing fans who don't care, about all that extra soft shit that's going on right now, And we thought Tank, I don't want to say nothing bad about Tank, but the way he moves like these modern day kids. They're very ambivalent about showing their hand, about saying who they want to fight, being intentional. You know what I'm saying? He's arrogant, but he's arrogant in a modern way. Say, hey, no, man, I want to knock out Shakur Stevenson. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. I'm going to knock him out. He's fighting next. After I get through Roach, I'm going for the other one. You know what I'm saying? I'm going for the, and then I'm out. 3 fights and I'm out. But I'm going to fight the top guys, so y'all guys get off my ass, and I'm going to knock these guys out, and that's all it is. That's what I want to hear from Tank. You know what I'm saying? No hate against him. I just want to see him do what he do. And Shakur, now Shakur, he smelled blood in the water. So he's coming straight for him because look like Tank Head ain't in the game. And that's dangerous. But tonight, we got Canelo Alvarez versus uh Terence Crawford, which is gonna be beautiful. Now, I don't think that Terence Crawford is gonna I don't think he's gonna cow down to Canelo. Even though the odds are against him, what I'm saying? He done jumped up 2 weight divisions, so he's got a built-in excuse. Just like Jermell Charlo, who decided to survive, got knocked down in the seventh 2 times, and then he kind of ran away and just kind of avoided getting in there and taking those punches, those big boulder punches from Canelo. And he survived, and Canelo won a unanimous decision, right? But I was disappointed because I thought Mel was going to get busy. Now we're thinking the same thing about Terence Crawford. Will he get in there and feel a couple of those Canelo punches if they land solid? Now, Terence Crawford is hard to hit. You know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford, if he got enough power, because he done blowed his body up. You know what I'm saying? He's a bigger guy. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully if his power transferred, Canelo is in trouble. If Crawford's power has transferred and Victor Conte and gave him some of that special snack smoothie, he may knock Canelo out if he got that damn snack smoothie. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? What's going on? That holy boy, what's going on? What's happening? Yeah, I gotta get my shit back, man, because this stuff hasn't really been worth talking about. You know what I'm saying? To me, you know what I'm saying, and in the way I watch boxing. You know what I'm saying? It hasn't been really, on the radar for me. I've been, at work, you know what I'm saying, and work has been like really consuming me here over the last few months and years and stuff. Yeah, I can't wait either. Let me see what everybody's saying. He says, Brandon says, Bud is in trouble. Says Canelo got boots in the camp. 100. He says, what's up? What's up? He says, Marcus said he's been waiting for the live. Yeah, man, I just been waiting. I just haven't had the energy, bro, to come in here and talk about these sorry ass dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan, man. You know what I'm saying? Until they get in the ring and start really trying to take charge and really try to fight each other, man. It's like I'm tired of complaining about that shit. And this stuff is a lot of hard work, man, to get on here and really try to chop this stuff up. And it's sickening to me. It just gets on my damn nerves, bro. He says, yes, high level duck. Yeah, high level ducking. I've never, and that was ducking going on in the past, but it was so many good fights and there was so much talent going that, you could move past it because there was something going on in the heavyweight division. There was something going on, you know what I'm saying, in the super middleweight division. There was something going on at middleweight. There was something going on in other divisions to take your attention off all the ducking that was going on. So, but right now we only got like a few good, solid, you know what I'm saying, champions with skills that we want to see, matchups that we want to see, right? Let me see. Be that God says, he said boxing has gotten, yeah, and everybody's talking about this shit, man. Everybody is talking about how bad boxing has gotten. You know what I'm saying? And it's like it's really gotten bad when Sean Porter is talking about, how the business of boxing is going. And I was just saying, man, I'm just gonna come in on some of the big fights that I want to see. But then I looked at that StreamYard bill. I said, man, I'm not paying for this shit. You know what I'm saying? Just to come on here to talk about, these little low maintenance fights. You know what I'm saying? And it just hit me, man. I'm just paying money for nothing. You know what I'm saying? Making videos and stuff, you know what I'm saying? Where I could be, making my money on my job, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, but this one here, this one here, I'm gonna have to come in and we're gonna have to rock out on this one because Terrence Bud Crawford is going for the gold. He said what was it 5 years ago that he was going to be the one that fight Canelo, and I damn sure didn't believe it. You know what I'm saying? I damn sure didn't believe it, but here we are. Here we are. He's ready, and he's put in the work. I saw him working on his legs. He looked bigger. He looks healthy. You know what I'm saying? Now, if he goes out there, and I do believe he's going to give it his best. You know what I'm saying? I think I don't know which way it's going to go because Canelo still look slow to me. He still look like he's not quite the Canelo that that he used to be. He don't look as crisp. He's not as fast. You know what I'm saying? I think he still got the strength, but his time and his speed is off. And then he been taking, so many light touches. You know what I'm saying? All he have to do is hit you 2 or 3 times to win a round. We know that about Canelo. So Crawford is under a lot of pressure to make sure that he looks dominant. He's gonna have to make sure he looks dominant every round. You know what I'm saying, to win this fight. He's gonna have to put on a show because anytime Canelo touches body, that's gonna be that count is 5 or 6 goddamn punches. We already know that. So I don't know what strategy that Crawford is going to use. I don't know how much he can move now that he done gained all them pounds. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he's quite 168 pounds, but if he is, that's going to affect his movement. And how long can he move side to side and say stay out of range? Because Canelo like to cut the ring off and then start doing his little thing. Of course, he's going to give up those rounds. Those early rounds definitely going to go to Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Because Canelo, he's a slow starter. He don't throw a lot of punches, but they give him the credit though. They will give Canelo the rounds if he connect with you, 2 or 3 times. So that's going to be something we have to look out for in this fight tonight. You know what I'm saying? The way they placate Canelo, the way they give him rounds, and he's not active the whole round either. You know what I'm saying? So Terrence Crawford gonna have to stay busy, keep that jab in his face, stay scoring, you know what I'm saying, and land a couple of meaningful shots. He's gonna have to hit him with maybe 4 or 5 jabs, you know what I'm saying, that snaps his head back, and he's gonna have to hit him with some power, you know what I'm saying? So you could say, okay, that was Terrence Crawford round. You know what I'm saying? And then Canelo always try to do these little combination spurts, you know what I'm saying? And they he hit you a couple of times, man. This shit is like tag or some shit, and they just mark it down. By the time the 5th round come, Canelo done won 4 of them. And you're just like, man, this is some bullshit right here. But Terrence Crawford know all this. So what kind of strategy I can only see that he could employ with this kind of fighter is boxing. He's gonna have to box Canelo. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he's best at. He's a counter puncher. You know what I'm saying? He knows how to escape. But how long is he going to be able to do that with a 168-pound body? That's going to be the question. That's going to be the question. Let me see. He says, Tank not fighting for no, Tank ain't fighting for legacy, bro. He's just fighting for love or money. Yep. I agree with that. You know what I'm saying? He said facts. He said this has to be the perfect situation for them to fight. Yes. But I think Terrence Crawford is such a damn competitor that he want to prove everybody wrong. He wants to rain on the parade. You know what I'm saying? He wants to, upset the apple cart. He's that type of dude. You know what I'm saying? He wants to make history. And I think Terrence Crawford is just one of those mean intention dudes. He's a strategic guy. So hopefully he's found a chink in Canelo's armor, and he'll go in there and he'll edge it out. Now, I looked at that fight. I forgot what's that dude name at 154. That fight was a good fight, but he fought Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford had to, Terrence Crawford won that fight, but I forgot what's the white dude name he just fought at 154. Um, that fight was competitive, and that dude is good. But Canelo, I never thought Canelo was a special fighter. I never thought Canelo was a special fighter. I always thought he was just kind of strong, quick hands, slow feet, and he always got away. What I'm saying, with having the bias of the judges and stuff. You know, so that's how he kind of got by the biggest challenges of his career. You know what I'm saying? So I never looked at him like he was a Purdell Whitaker. I don't think he ever separated himself. He lost to Floyd Mayweather. What I'm saying? You're supposed to pass the torch. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to lose to the damn legend. You're supposed to beat the legend, like Oscar De La Hoya beat damn, I'm getting old, y'all. I can't remember no goddamn names. Y'all can tell that your boy getting goddamn early onset. Let's see, Chavez. When Oscar De La Hoya beat Chavez, that was a passing of the torch type of fight. And he went in there and he beat Chavez's ass, right? Like he was supposed to, 2 times. He beat him twice. You know what I'm saying? Beat his ass twice. And that's what Canelo's supposed to have done to Mayweather. But Mayweather went in there and showed him and just outclassed him. You know what I'm saying? Every way, stood right in front of him and he outclassed him. You know what I'm saying? So that's the way that shit goes. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why he was such a big deal after that. Says, can't wait to see Bud does against Canelo, but boxing needs EJ to come back for at least 3 fights. If he can. I mean, I don't know what's if anything wrong with him. I don't know. But he's spending time with the family. And I understand he's been fighting for years. All these guys, all these fighters, they've been boxing for years. If they're not in the gym, they got to eat right. They got to live a boxing lifestyle and all this. So they get tired. Look at Keith Thurman. Keith Thurman been on a goddamn 3-year hiatus. You know what I'm saying? I told you after he fought the last fight, he was going to go 3 years without fighting. Everybody knows that. But for some reason, Keith Thurman fans, hardcore fans, think that he's going to continue fighting people. He's not going to do it. He's just not going to do it. When they said he was going to fight Boots, I didn't believe it. That was going to be the opener for the PBS, right? When they came back, that was supposed to be the fight that was going to be the opener, but it wasn't, because when I saw Keith Thurman, I said that shit is never going to happen. I told y'all the last time when it happened, I said that shit is not happening. When they said Keith Thurman's supposed to fight Tim Tszyu, I said that's not happening. That's not happening. They just putting a promotion out there. You know what I'm saying? Tim Tszyu just got his ass beat, bro. And all he ever had was a right hand. Kind of he was kind of like a White Wilder or something. You know what I'm saying? No, no defense. You know what I'm saying? Just a powerful right hand. I was like, why nobody could take advantage of that? And then he went out there and somebody took advantage of it, and Tim Tszyu got destroyed. You know what I'm saying? By somebody with longer arms, somebody with power. That's all it took. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta like really start watching boxing again. You know what I'm saying? Because we know when a fighter is limited offensively or defensively. Now, anything can happen in a fight, but we know boxing because we watch it all the time, right? So I just knew somebody was going to get Tim Tszyu ass, but I thought it would have been one of the earlier guys that he fought and stuff. And I was just surprised he went as far as he did. Now his daddy was hell. Now Costa Tszyu was real deal. You know what I'm saying? Costa Tszyu with the head movement, all that. Costa Tszyu was hell. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't nowhere near like Costa Tszyu. You know what I'm saying? But these fighters getting exposed every day. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, that holy boy? What's happening? Okay, he said, yeah, they're getting exposed every day. I think that Bud is really going to go out here and he's going to put on the show. Even if he goes down, I think he's gonna like really go all out against Canelo. I could be wrong, but I think Terence Crawford got the skills. I think he got the speed. I think he's got the natural ability. And I think he got another thing. He's got what they call the snack program. And I do believe Canelo got his snack program going on too. Because once again, the rumors have been light. The rumors has been out there about what's going on in their camp. You know what I'm saying, about the juicing and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? What's going on? 2 cents. It says Bud about to get punched. Punched on full. Oh God. Well, I could always rely on 2 cents to come in and give me another perspective of it. But you might be right, 2 cents. That might happen. You know. I thought Jermell Charlo was gonna go in there and with his skills, you know. But after he took a couple of punches from Canelo, that nigga was like hell to the no. He was like hell to the no. I was surprised to see him run like that. I was just really sad to see him, change his disposition after a couple of punches. I said, man, Canelo must be hit like a horse. He must be hit like a horse, man. You know what I'm saying? For a fighter to switch it up, the way he did, and maybe Crawford. We got to see how Crawford could take Canelo punches. You know what I'm saying? If Canelo, if Canelo could even reach Crawford now, because Crawford is a slippery dude. I'm not saying he got Mayweather type defense. He really don't. But he uses his legs. He uses his legs to get him out of trouble. And what is Crawford? 35 now, 36. I'm surprised that he can move like this, but he's a crazy trainer. He's dedicated. He does live a boxer lifestyle. So that goes a long way. That goes a long way. You know what I'm saying? Jeff says, I don't believe that 2 cents. He said, no way Bud will let that happen. Hey, it ain't up to Bud. It ain't up to Bud sometimes. Sometimes it ain't up to him. Sometimes you get hit in the wrong place. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? Canelo, he likes to beat on your arms. You know what I'm saying? He likes to destroy your arms. He likes to, you know what I'm saying? That shit can work against Bud. You know what I'm saying? If he can't hit Bud in the body, if he can't get to the head, shit, he could get them arms. You know what I'm saying? I seen Roy Jones Jr. use that tactic, punching people arms and stuff until he made a guy quit. Roy Jones Jr. made a guy quit one time. He was beating his arms up so bad, hitting him in the shoulder, had his arm all jacked up. It says, let's see, this says Crawford going to be bigger and slower. Yeah, going to be the same. That's the question. That's the question. He's 37. Oh my God, this nigga is 37 years old now. Cause last time we were talking about, yeah, he was like 36. Yeah, he is 37. But at the same time, Canelo broke down too. I know they done put so much medicine in this nigga knees, because his feet and his man, I'm talking about, he looks bad. You know what I'm saying? When he's fighting, he looks slow. Man, I just feel like Crawford is in better condition than Canelo. But Canelo is stronger than Crawford because he's been fighting at the weight. He's more acclimated to the weight. But Crawford is a hell of a guy who prepares. He prepares like nobody I ever seen before, preparing for these fights. So either it's a big money grab and it's just a pipe dream that everybody have, that Crawford can get in there and show his skills, because he's definitely got more skills than Canelo Alvarez. I believe he's a more skillful fighter. I think his speed, and look at that. I'm thinking about the shit now, and I'm just thinking, man, if he can avoid, getting hit to the body by Canelo Alvarez and just box, if he could keep moving, he's gonna win this fight. Terence Crawford is gonna win this fight. But if Terence Crawford gets tired, get on them ropes like Jermell Charlo did, and if he ropes like Jermell Charlo did, it's gonna be night. He might knock Terence Crawford out because he's not used to carrying that weight. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know if you ever put a weight jacket on when you jogged or something, and it's like, for the first time, man, carrying that extra weight, bro, you could run a mile, run 2 miles easy. But when you put that weight jacket on, bro, that's what it's like. And they're moving in the ring. He's got all that extra weight on him. He's gonna tire out. You know what I'm saying? So we got it's iffy to see how it's all gonna play out, man. Because man, but I do believe Crawford is if he got some of that stuff in him, he'll be okay. You know what I'm saying? I hate to say it that way, but it is what it is. What's going on, Mr. Moet in the building? What's going on, Mr. Moet? He says this would be an amazing matchup. Looking forward to it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Post game in the house. Says Saul doesn't throw punches when he's on defense. He says Terence can throw punches while he's on the defense. This would be a critical part, in my opinion. Yeah, you know, Crawford has a great critical thinking mind in the ring. So whatever Canelo, he will peak that. He probably already peaked that. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably when he'll strike. But then Crawford likes to punch when you punch. So he likes to punch in between your punches. We all know this, right? So that's going to be dangerous because Canelo do have quick hands. I don't know about this stage in his career, but Crawford has super speed compared to coming up from the lighter weight classes. It's going to look like night and day. He's going to look like a hummingbird compared to Canelo Alvarez. It says, yeah, he's flat-footed too, Jeff. What's going on, JB? Long time no see, my brother. What's happening with you? What's happening, bro?
Man. Oh man, ain't too much, man. Just holding it down, man. How you been, man? It's been a minute since I talked with you.
Yeah, man, because you seen how boxing been going.
Yeah, oh yeah. So you had to step away from it. You know, we wasn't getting the fights that we wanted to get, so you had to kind of step away from it. I know how you feel, man. A lot of people kind of got fights that they didn't want to see and stuff, and where boxing is going, and kind of turned away from boxing, man. But right now with Turkey Alley Sheik, getting involved and stuff, man, we're starting to get some better fights and stuff like that. If it weren't for Turkey, man, we'd be in some bad shape, especially here in the United States. You look at what's going on with PBC and what's going on with Top Rank. These guys, Top Rank ain't even got a platform right now. The PBC, they putting on fights every blue moon. So if it weren't for Turkey Alley Sheik, man, boxing would probably be in a real bad place as far as fights that we would be wanting to see and fights that we will be able to watch.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about, man. It's like, what happened to the days of fighters wanting to fight each other, bro? You just get tired of seeing the same old, same old. It takes like a presidential inquiry to get these guys, to negotiate and get in the ring. It's like it takes too long to make these fights. You know what I'm saying? It's like nobody's like really trying to go for each other. You're looking at Tank, he's fighting Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what the hell is that? I mean, I understand the money, but come on, man. It's like, let's get back to the sport, instead of the event. And I understand people like the fact that these people are great business people. But let's get the legacy fights out of the way first. You know what I'm saying? Before we do the events, you could do the events after you fight your legacy fights or in between your legacy fights. You know what I'm saying? What's wrong with that? Why can't we do it like that?
Yeah, you're right about that. Tank kind of doing a little different way. Usually guys be fighting these type of fights at the end of their career. Tank taking this fight in the prime of his career. But I think what really happened was after the Ryan Garcia fight where he made a lot of money in that fight. I don't know if it was 30 or 40 million, but he made a career high payday for that fight. But it's at them two fights after the Garcia fight, he didn't make what he made in the Ryan Garcia fight. I think when he beat Ryan, I thought he probably thought he was going to be making a certain amount of money. He probably thought that he was going to be in that Canelo pay scale, but that wasn't the case with what he made against Frank Martin and what he made against Lamont Roach Jr. in the first fight. I think that played a part in him taking the Jake Paul fight. He want to make career high type of money, make what he made in the Ryan Garcia fight. He get the bag in this fight, then maybe he go back to fighting his contemporaries, guys like Shakur Stevenson, Lamont Roach Jr., Keyshawn Davis, fighters that guys that he should be competing against, guys that he should be trying to test his skills against.
Well, he knows Lamont Roach and Tank. They know each other from, the amateurs from growing up, and he knew this guy wasn't a scrub. So I don't even understand why he took that fight because that looked like they were evenly matched. Tank was a little ahead of him until he, took that knee, which was really controversial. I never seen a fighter take a timeout. you know what I'm saying, in a fight. But we know Tank is a special fighter. You know what I'm saying? We know he got that clout, and he don't have the power of Mayweather, who fired a goddamn ref in the middle of a fight. But you know what I'm saying? I mean, bro, when I saw that, that was like MJ. That was some MJ shit right there.
Hey, Pooh.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Hey, what's up, boss? Hey, man, I'm glad
What?
to see you back on, man. I know you've been busy working, man. I saw you live. I had to jump in, man. It's good to hear you, especially 2 weeks before we get in this big fight. Look, I want to make a couple comments. One, you mentioned about the knee that Tank took, and a lot of people just saw it for what it was. But I want to add some context to what I saw, which was the ref. And, they always say the ref is the third man in the ring. And he sees and hears things during the fight that we as viewers don't. Okay. But one of the things that I believe he recognized was this was a close fight. Now, he's not a judge, but I've seen refs mention to fighters, when they give fighters warnings and they're saying, look, man, I'm not trying to affect this fight. Listen to my instructions, stop holding or stop holding his head down or stop low blowing because I'm going to take a point, and they give hard warnings or whatever. Refs can identify a tight boxing match. And I feel like Steve Willis, he recognized that the fight was super close. You saw when he started to count, and then he looked at Tank like what's going on? Like, I don't really want to mess this fight up for either one of you. And so I'm gonna give you a second to figure out something. Let me know. And if you watch the fight again, you'll even hear Steve Willis say, like, man, you don't do that. Some to that effect. Now I know a lot of folks.
Get your ass up, Tank. Get your ass up.
As I know, a lot of folks are saying whatever. You know what I'm saying? If his knee hits the canvas, it's a KD, point blank period. And I'm not in disagreement with that. The only thing I can say is the third man in the ring that night saw and recognized that was a moment that was not from the cause of a punch. And so he gave Tank the benefit of the doubt because the fight was close. Now, if the fight was lopsided on either side, I'm calling it KD straight. But sometimes I feel like referees, man, they want to give certain fighters an opportunity to really compete and let the judgment come out what it should be. My second comment, and thank you, my brother, man, it's good to rap to you again, is for the Bud Canelo fight, man. And I put this in the comments on YouTube. I think this joke will end up being a split draw. A lot of folks talking about the victory for one, the victory for the other. I think it's going to be a split draw. I feel like both fighters are going to hold their own. I mentioned this in the comments too. I just watched all these fights. Saul does not throw punches when he's on the defensive. So when he's doing all that sweet bobbing and weaving and all that sweet shit, he does not throw punches. When he's evading, on his defensive, being slick, he can catch you. Canelo don't do that. So I feel like that's going to be something I'm interested to see. And if Bud's chin can hold up to Canelo's power, I feel like Canelo's chin going to hold up to Bud's power. It's been tested already. I feel like, man, we gonna see a split draw, and it's gonna be so good that shit gonna end up being a rematch. And it might end up being both of their last fights. You know what I'm saying? It may end up even going to a trilogy.
Man, that would be crazy work. That would be crazy work. What's going on, 2 Cents in the building? What's going on? I seen your platform growing and blowing up.
What
I heard
up,
you on Champ. What's going on? Girl, took over boxing.
Man, I've been at this thing for a minute. You know what's up.
Yeah, I be tuning in.
Oh, you be tuning in?
Yeah, you got all girls. I don't be wanting to interrupt. I be on the road driving.
Oh, that's my Friday night panel. We do the all-woman panel.
I was like, look at her, boy. She is taking this to another level.
Yes, but
I heard you on Champ's side. I was like, everybody was tripping and stuff. I said, she held it down.
Oh,
And
they
she
just
went
want.
unprepared. She went unprepared. Them guys are like reporters and all that kind of stuff. So,
Man,
you know,
somebody told me you should talk to Jim side. It'll be a good conversation. He up there trying to debate. I'm like, bro, no, ain't nobody trying to debate you. I don't even really debate people like that though. So I wasn't even worried about that. But I hear everybody talking about this Canelo Crawford fight. I can't wait to see it. I think it's a lot of things people aren't taking into consideration about somebody moving up in weight because they think that Bud Crawford can walk on water. And I think they're also not really giving Canelo his credit. Like, I know how we feel about Canelo. He ain't fought nobody and this and that, but come on, it's Canelo. Like, he got a stellar resume. It's not like he can't fight, like he don't have any skill. Like, I feel like they talk as if Canelo has no skill. Like, he's just not that good of a fighter. Like, he just going there slugging. I don't know what they think, but I think they're really underestimating Canelo, and I think they're underestimating the weight classes. And you hear people say it's weight classes for a reason, and it's the reason why they're saying that. Now, I'm not saying that Bud can't win, but people make it seem like Canelo has more he has to overcome to beat Bud. But no, Bud has more he has to overcome to beat Crawford, regardless if he's more skilled or not. And I think a lot of people don't understand. You going up in weight, you're not gonna be as fast. Your stamina's not gonna be the same. You're gonna be with smaller gloves with a harder puncher. Canelo don't just be in the ring waiting to get the perfect shot on you. He punching your arms, he punching your hips. He's doing all of that. And so I don't ever really hear a lot of people mention what is Bud going to do as far as taking Canelo's power and getting punched on? Because yeah, you can look good for about 3 or 4 rounds, but what happens after that wear and tear from all those punches start making your punches not as hard? What happened when your stamina is not the same because you're in there with the extra weight? Like, I don't think people taking those things into consideration. Again, I'm not saying that Bud can't win, but people are talking as if Canelo has more to overcome to win than Bud.
no, I feel you. I feel you on that because when you jumping up 2 weight classes, and we saw what happened to Jermell Charlo. We all thought the same thing about him. Saying we thought he was going to get in there, and we thought he was going to confront Canelo and use his superior speed, use his superior jab, and and just get in there and destroy Canelo and disrupt what he got going on. But that didn't happen. What happened was that jumping up 2 weights really affected. We didn't know how much it was going to affect him, and you could see it. You could see the difference, just like you were saying, 2 Cent. Most times when guys jump up 2 weight classes, we saw it with Tommy Hearns when he fought Hagler. You know what I'm saying? When they jump up weight divisions like that, he gave Hagler hell for what, I forgot how many rounds it was, but man, he was going at Hagler, and it took Hagler a little bit to adjust to his speed, but he didn't have the power to knock Hagler out. But when Hagler power was hitting Tommy, Tommy couldn't take it. You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
he got Tommy ass up out of there. But if Tommy would have waited and acclimated himself to the weight, it probably would have been a more even fight. But just jumping up 2 weight classes, man, that is hard. That is hard to beat somebody.
Essentially 3, and he ain't took no. You remember how Bud just absolutely had to get a tune up before he fought Spence, and everybody
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, he need a tune up." Like, why y'all not saying that now?
Well,
Why
I think
don't?
he's trying. Well, I think he's really trying to acclimate himself to the weight. He's trying to put on the weight strategically. That's what he's taking this year to do. Put on the weight strategically. Y'all remember
You
Bernard
still
Hopkins?
gotta acclimate though.
Yeah, well, he got acclimated, but this is not something we haven't never seen in the sport of boxing, though. That's what the point I'm trying to make. Bernard Hopkins went up 2 weight classes, went up from 160 to 175 and beat Antonio Tarver, who was fresh out of knocking out Roy Jones Jr. He was the top dog at 175, and Bernard Hopkins went up there and schooled Tarver because his skill set was on a higher level than Tarver. I believe that Crawford's skill set is on a higher level than Canelo. I'm not taking nothing away from Canelo. Canelo is an all-time great Hall of Fame fighter, one of the top Latino fighters in boxing history. I'm not taking nothing away from him, but when you look at the skill set Crawford is on another level than Canelo's as far as skill set. He's superior to him in everything. Got a better jab, quicker feet, faster hands. The advantage that Canelo has is he's a naturally bigger guy. Crawford moving up in weight class, and Canelo has the power. But if it comes down to a skill set competition, Crawford is going to beat Canelo. Canelo got the hope that the weight is just advantage he has is a bridge too far for Crawford, and that'll be the difference in the fight. Because if it comes down to talent for talent, IQ for IQ, Crawford is on a higher level than Canelo.
But the problem is Canelo, his path to victory is to make Crawford work. He's gonna have to make Crawford work so he get wore out. Because Canelo like to come, he like to kind of like gradually, you know what I'm saying, bring the pressure. I believe he's gonna have to make Crawford work to wear him out, and he's gonna have to put some work in that body. He's gonna have to put some hands on Crawford body. You know what I'm saying? And you know, Canelo likes to come in on the end. You know what I'm saying? And like really, you know, he kind of conserves his energy at the beginning of the fight. But with this fight, I think he's gonna have to like put some pressure on Crawford. He's gonna have to step it up. He's gonna have to have that cardio right, so he can match Crawford's foot speed to get some body work in. If you don't get that body work in, it's going to be difficult to wear Crawford out. Crawford is a hell of an athlete. He's a hell of an athlete. I could say that. But like Two Cents say, you know what I'm saying? You jumping up 2 weight classes to 168 pounds. Now, how long can he move around in the ring taking those kind of punches? I don't know. But I do know that Crawford is an exceptional talent when it comes to hand speed, when it comes to foot speed, when it comes to strategy, when it comes to punches in between your punches. He's excellent at that. So this is really an interesting fight that's worth watching, that's worth breaking down, and worth looking at. I commend. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's a true 50-50 fight. You know, the one thing that Canelo had the advantage of, he throws a lot of wide shots, a lot of hooks. And what happens was his power is so dramatic to his opponents, they shell up and they don't try to counter his wide hooks. Crawford is a pinpoint, accurate sharpshooter, hitting opponents with those straight, short shots. That's how he dropped Errol Spence Jr. with that second knockdown. Errol Spence was trying to come with a wide shot. He came right up underneath that wide shot with a short, straight counter right hand. He dropped Spence with a second knockdown. That's gonna be really the breaking point of the fight. If Crawford shell up when Canelo throwing those hooks and getting the leverage behind those shots, yeah, Canelo probably gonna beat him. But if Crawford can throw those little short, straight, accurate shots in between them hooks and catch Canelo with the shots he don't see and make those punches count, and make Canelo pay for throwing those wide shots, then Crawford's gonna win. That's what's gonna boil down to, because that's what he did with Callum Smith with those wide hooks. He had him shelling up, and he had Jermell Charlo shelling up with those wide hooks.
Another thing we haven't talked about is Canelo got a hell of a chin, bro.
Yeah, he do.
Canelo could take a punch, and that might be a problem for Crawford. You know, Canelo can, if it get that down to it, Canelo, he can fight like Rocky. You know, he can go out there. You know how Rocky was getting his ass toe up and stuff the whole fight, but he kept coming.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Canelo has that neck. You know what I'm saying? He has that chin, and that might be something that can get him through the fight. You know what I'm saying? And to get to Crawford's body, because he's going to get hit. He's going to get hit. As long as Crawford's in the fight, like you said, he's a pinpoint sharpshooter. He's going to get his licks in. He's going to hit what he's looking at. He's going to get to the spots where he want to get to. And Canelo, but he's strong. He has that chin. This is going to be interesting. If Terence Crawford can't hurt Canelo to get him off, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard because Jermell, he couldn't hurt Crawford. He couldn't hurt him. I mean, not Crawford. He couldn't hurt Canelo. That was part of his problem. He couldn't intimidate him. He couldn't keep him from coming down, doing that little bob head shit he does, and come in and throwing them wide ass hooks, you know what I'm saying, going to your body. He's got quick hands now. The nigga feet like a turtle. But once he gets in the range and he lunges too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, when he throws shots. Now that's bad because Crawford, who's pinpoint accuracy and speed, he can catch him off a lunge and put him on the canvas. You know what I'm saying? He can because he
When you watch the Jermell Charlo fight, Jermell Charlo, even when he fought that boy Castano, he liked to lounge on the ropes and counter. He got power in both hands. But when you fight Canelo like that, you can't be on the ropes like that. He was on the ropes and Canelo was killing him to the body. So his style of how he fight was just tailor-made for Canelo. I don't know why people thought that he had a chance. I was saying before the fight, I thought Canelo was going to win. I'm a Jermell Charlo fan. He's from my neck of the woods, Houston. But I look at it objectively, just look at the style and how they match up. I never thought he was going to beat Canelo, Jermell Charlo. I actually think Crawford have a good chance to win because his style is much different than Jermell. But Jermell is a guy, he lounges on the ropes too much. He was never going to beat Canelo lounging on the ropes like that. And where he go to the body, where he get leverage on his body shots, it was tailor-made for Canelo. That's why he was so confident, in that press conference leading up to the fight. That's why Jermell was so quiet. He wasn't talking trash to Canelo like he did other opponents. It's almost like he was just happy to be that type of fighter. And that's the wrong mindset. Crawford is not going to be no happy to be here type of fighter. Crawford is chasing legacy. He's trying to dare to be great. He's going for the win. He's not going to do what Jermell Charlo did.
Yeah, and he has a lot of pride. That's the thing. He has a lot of heart and he has a lot of spirit. You know what I'm saying? I think Terence Crawford is that one. I think he's that one he'll go out on his shield. You know what I'm saying? I think that's something that you need to have, in order to beat a Canelo Alvarez. Even though Canelo Alvarez has the judges, he has all of this inside of his hands, Crawford is going to have to, he's going to have to like really put on a great performance to beat Canelo Alvarez. Let's say Canelo Alvarez doesn't come in there. I've seen Chavez win against Sweet Pea, and Sweet Pea just beat Chavez in every single way. You know what I'm saying? He beat Oscar De La Hoya and lost. So I could see something like that happening. Crawford going in there, and if he has let's say everything, goes Crawford way, I could still see Crawford losing this fight. You know what I'm saying? Just because Canelo is who he is, and of course Crawford is still going to make a shitload of money. But hopefully Crawford, don't get wrapped up into none of that. Worried about the judges, worried about, them giving Canelo rounds that he don't deserve. Hopefully he'll just stay focused, go in there, box when he can, mix it up when he can, and just avoid getting hit to the body. It's possible, but man, two weight classes is a large deficit to overcome. It really is.
Crawford just can't shell up. He can't shell up. If he shell up when Canelo start going to the body, if Crawford shell up, Canelo gonna beat him. I'm gonna tell you straight up. He cannot shell up. He was hitting up Bivol to the body, but Bivol kind of took those shots and then got off his 1-2 combination. You cannot shell up. You start shelling up, lounging on the ropes like Jermell Charlo was doing, you fool for Canelo. You got to absorb those body shots. He gonna land body shots there, but you got to absorb those body shots and then pick your time to counter those wide shots. Because when he throw those shots, he throwing wide shots. If you throwing short, straight shots, your shots gonna get there before his wide shots get there, especially when you got the speed advantage anyway. So that's gonna be the key to this whole fight. He got to punch in between Canelo's wide hooks because Canelo is a very good body puncher with those hooks. He's a hook artist with those left hooks and right hooks. Crawford's got to get in between those shots with those straight short shots out of the southpaw stance with the left hand and out of the orthodox stance with the right hand. Short, straight, accurate shots. If he can catch Canelo with some shots he don't see, he can possibly hurt Canelo because those are shots that hurt any boxer. No matter how great your chin is, you get caught with a shot that you don't see, it's going to do damage.
Yeah, but Bivol got that pivot. Bivol will pivot. He don't give a damn. He will pivot on your ass. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. That nigga will pivot on a dime. You know what I'm saying? So he knows how to keep his back off the ropes. And, he's got that long jab. You know what I'm saying? He's a straight puncher. So, and he got longer arms than Canelo Alvarez. So Canelo Alvarez, he's a better boxer than Canelo Alvarez. He's a bigger guy. And so that was an uphill battle for Canelo. Crawford got longer arms than Canelo, but it's the strength factor. Like Toon said, it's the stamina factor that's gonna come into question, saying when they meet. 2 cents, boy. I don't know, man. But I don't know. This is an exciting fight. I'm just like, man, I can't wait. I can't wait.
We're 3 weeks away, 3 weeks out. 3 weeks out. So I can't wait for it. It's the to me
I
the
hope
winner.
it don't be you know, you anticipate these big fights and then they turn out to be very lackluster.
Yeah, hopefully it's better than Pacquiao Mayweather. That was the last fight that, in my opinion, was the winner of that fight was the best fight of that era. It turned out to be Mayweather. I think this fight is the winner of this fight will be the best fight of this era, meaning the last 10 years. A lot of people say, what about Usyk? Usyk been doing
But
damage
how
here
is
lately.
Canelo the best fighter of this era just because he beat Bud?
Well, not only Bud though. Who else he beat? He beat somebody. He beat Triple G. He
But
beat
who is
Austin Trout. He's beat a lot. Sugar Shane Mosley. He beat a lot of good
because
fighters.
he beat a smaller fighter? No, this is what I'm saying though, right? I don't think this win does anything for Canelo. Like, I'm not impressed if Canelo beat Bud.
Crawford has never been beaten. How you not impressed when he beat a guy that's never been beaten? This guy's 41-0, 31 knockouts.
Because it's 3 weight classes. It's not like they in the same weight class.
It's 2 weight classes. His last fight was at 154.
He had one
fought
fight at
Virgil.
154.
He's a champion at 154. It ain't like he just took some fight against some scrub
He
and
beat somebody
won a
with
fight.
10 fights.
He beat a champion at 154.
He beat
anybody.
somebody with 10 fights at 54.
WBA junior middleweight champion, Majramov. He beat him at 154. He ain't just beat he ain't do no boost fight no Lima at 154 and say, let me go to 168 and fight Canelo.
Lima got
people say that. I'm just saying though, you fighting a guy that's a non-champion. Say Boots would have went up and fought Lima at 154 and then went up and fight Canelo. Then I can say, okay,
so the fact that he's a champion override the fact that he only had 10 professional fights.
Yeah, well, yeah. Loma only had like 13 fights. If he had an extensive amateur background, extensive Olympic pedigree, that's why he got fast forward to in the pros. He didn't have to wait. He didn't have to have 30 fights to get an opportunity at a top level fighter. He was ready when he got there. He just needed a few fights to get ready. As he won a title, he beat Korobov for the WBA belt, stopped him, became the champion. So some guys can be fast forwarded when they have extensive amateur background.
I'm not one to just be like, just because you got a belt, you was just the best. I don't necessarily always believe that. But
I'm not saying he was the best, but he was a champion at 154. Arguably, you could say he might have been the best. Maybe you say Fandora at the time, maybe. I'm just saying he was definitely top 2 or 3 Ring Magazine champion, Ring Magazine junior middleweight contender. So Bud went up there and beat him at 154, got a belt, then just went up, go up there and get his feet wet, fight anybody, and then he moved up to 168. So
they tripping. I don't know. To me, I don't see this being a legacy fight for Canelo. I don't see Canelo proving anything by beating Bud, in my opinion. I think a lot of people want to say that, I guess, because they feel like Bud is whoever Bud is, but we got to take into consideration that you're beating a way smaller man. For me, my 2 cents. Like, you beating a way smaller man, bro. Like, this don't make you great, in my opinion.
Canelo started off at 140, right? He started off at 140, moved up to 168. Bud started off at 135. So it's not really, when you look at where they started off at, it's not that big a difference. It ain't like Canelo came in.
Canelo started fighting when he was 15 years old, bro.
Yeah. He started off, yeah. I'm saying though, he started his career off, his professional boxing career off at 140. And so I think
he was a teenager.
Yeah. How old was when he fought his 140? He was 16, 17 years old, somewhere in there?
That's what I'm saying. You're saying Bud started at 135. Bud wasn't a professional fighter at 16.
Yeah, he can't, he was in the Olympics and stuff like that. But I don't think it's I think skills pay the bills. I don't think it's I think Canelo is a naturally bigger guy, but I don't think this is like Jake Paul versus Tank. I don't think it's no big difference like that. I think he's probably bigger, but I still think that Crawford with his skill set, I think he might be able to overcome the advantage that Canelo has as being a bigger fighter, naturally bigger guy, which I don't think is a huge thing. He probably naturally bigger. They walk around weight. I would say Canelo probably walk away around 190, and Bud probably walk around about 175. So it might be actually a 15-pound difference. This is not some 60, 70-pound difference like we're looking at it with Tank and Jake. It's not a big Grand Canyon difference in weight.
Bro, we talking about 3 weight class. Are you serious right now?
No, we're not talking about 3 weight classes. 2 cents. You want to just overlook the fact that he fought at 154 in his last fight. You got to take that as a fact.
At 54. He's not even acclimated to that weight.
Well, he won the fight, so he acclimated enough to win the fight, right? He was able to get the belt.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I mean, JB, you come on now. As a boxing, enthusiast, moving up 2 weight classes is a motherfucker. You already know that, that's just not done. Only the best only the best fighters, you know what I'm saying, with a little razzle dazzle like Terence Crawford or somebody, got a chance to get a victory, you know what I'm saying, against somebody who's already acclimated. Any fighter that's acclimated at a weight, we just saw Manny Pacquiao versus Mario Barrios, you know what I'm saying, which was, whew, man, I wish I didn't watch that one. But anytime you move up weight classes, you know what I'm saying, it's difficult for the fighter that's moving up. And like I said, I watched Tommy Hearns. I watched a lot of guys, you know what I'm saying, try to do that. Only person I've seen that moved up to different weight classes, like Roy Jones Jr., somebody like that. And Roy Jones was able to keep his stamina. He was able to outspeed uh, in that fight. He was able to even hurt what's that Spanish heavyweight guy?
John Ruiz.
Yeah. Now that's the only fight where I've seen like where a guy just moved up two weight classes, you know what I'm saying, and was able to do what he wanted to do. But Roy Jones Jr. is probably the best athletic fighter we ever seen, you know what I'm saying, besides a sweet pea or something like that. So Two Cents is right. It's going to be hard for Terence Crawford to overcome that weight. You know what I'm saying? That's really the struggle. That's really the fight that he's going to have to deal with. You know what I'm saying? How is he going to be able to keep up, you know what I'm saying, his motion, how he's going to be able to keep up his speed, his stamina versus Canelo. And then can he hurt Canelo? So it's a lot of questions that he's going to have to answer to. And man, if he get in there, it may be bad for Terence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? I hope Terence Crawford win. I hope, and I don't even like Terence Crawford. I'm gonna tell you that. Y'all know I don't like Terence Crawford. Y'all already know I don't, man. But I want him to beat Canelo. I hate Canelo even more.
Right.
I think if Crawford win, it'll be. I really don't got a dog in the race, but I think if Crawford win, it'll be a good moment for boxing. For somebody to go up there and achieve a feat like that. But I just don't see it.
What does that make
So
Crawford?
2 Cents, you got Canelo winning, right? You got to win him by decision or knockout. How you got this fight going?
Hold on, JB. What does this? And I'm asking both of you guys.
Mm-hmm.
He won undisputed at light welter. He's undisputed at welter. And now, if he beat Canelo, that would make this nigga the undisputed at 168.
3-time undisputed. It's history making type of performance. You're gonna have to give it up for him if he do it. If he pull this off, you can't really tell. You can't really say nothing about Crawford. You say anything bad about Crawford, you just hate him. If he pull this off.
You know what I hear people say too, Poor, and when I say this, you gon' because you know how I feel about Terence Crawford and how he moves, right? I hear people say, and I don't know why his Bud fans say this, but they say stuff like, "Oh, Canelo got bad knees, he got a bad shoulder, he can't do road work." Canelo did, like, they list all of these things that's wrong with Canelo, and they be like, "Bud gonna destroy Canelo." And so when I hear that, I'm like, why are y'all saying all of that, but then want it to be like Bud is the greatest ever, he beat Canelo? I would want Bud to be fighting a competitive Canelo, not with this wrong with him, that wrong with him, this wrong with him, that wrong with him. Because to me, Pool, you already know when I run down the list of opponents, what I say, and this only adds to that, in my opinion. So I'm not going to discredit Crawford if he wins. If he beats Canelo, good, you got a great win. You went up the weight classes. You was able to pull it off. But if all of what y'all say is true and Canelo got all this going on, it's just another strategic move. And if he win, he did it right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. 2 Cents, don't buy into none of that with them. You got haters on both sides. If Canelo win, give Canelo credit. If Crawford win, give Crawford credit. Canelo is he's a super middleweight undisputed champion, so he must be doing something right. So you got to give Crawford credit if he beat him. But if he beats Crawford, I don't want to hear nothing about Crawford was a small guy moving up. We seen this before. Hopkins moved up from 160 to 175 and beat Tarver after he knocked out Roy Jones Jr. He was the top dog at 175. We seen Sugar Shane Mosley go from 135 to 147 and beat the Golden Boy Oscar De La Hoya, who was the top welterweight at that time, who just got through beating Ike Corte. So we seen this in boxing. Roberto Duran went up from 135 to 147 to beat Sugar Ray Leonard, who was the best guy at 147. Just got through beating Benitez. So
But
we've seen it
Canelo,
before.
but Canelo has a history of beating up guys moving up. You know what I'm saying? He has no problem with beating up little motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? That's his
Yeah, but he beat
goddamn
this
MO.
guy. He beat this guy who's undefeated. He might beat some other little guys that they ain't on the level as Crawford. Crawford ain't never lost. Crawford's undefeated.
No, Charlo wasn't undefeated.
I mean, I know the history, but you know what I'm saying? Man, bruh, you know what I'm
Crawford
saying?
never losing has nothing to do with this fight. I don't know why is that a
Um,
point?
what- Well, if he beat, I'm just saying Canelo give him his first loss. That would be a triumph for Canelo. Beat a guy that ain't never lost. A guy that really ain't never been in
No,
a
it's
competitive
not.
fight
Because
outside of maybe Porter. They've been in a competitive fight.
no, you beat a small guy that ain't never lost. Like if Canelo would have beat Charlo, he would have got no credit. You don't get no credit. From me, Canelo don't get no credit for beating Charlo. If you ask me, Canelo should have got that backlash, not Charlo. Because
So what's
Canelo
going on
had
with
no
your
business
mic?
even fighting him.
What's happening to your mic? It sounds like you far away.
It's all right. She talking in a tunnel there. Too saying it's
So I'm
on
gonna
Jermell.
leave out and come back.
There you go.
Yeah, but the thing about Jermell Charlo, he had already lost before. Tony Harrison beat him, and I thought he lost the first Castano fight. That was a draw. He got his get back in the second fight. He stopped Castano, but I thought Castano beat him that first fight, and he lost to Tony Harrison. So that's a guy that lost. Crawford ain't never lost. Crawford ain't been in too many close fights outside of Porter. He really ain't been in no close fights. He done dominated, stopped. He knocked out 11 straight opponents, stopped them. Porter, I give Porter credit, but I think Porter should get in the Hall of Fame. He gave Crawford his toughest fight, even though Crawford stopped him like he did the other 10 guys. And when he was on that streak, Porter actually gave Crawford a lot of problem with his athleticism, jumping in and stuff. He was kind of wild, but it was a effective wildness, and he was ahead of Crawford. That's why Bomac told Crawford, "Hey man, you down, man, this fight, man." Crawford probably thought he was ahead. Crawford put his foot on the gas and ended up dropping Porter 2 times and ended up getting a stoppage. But Porter is outside of Porter. Crawford ain't been in no competitive fights, and he's fought a lot of top guys in boxing.
It said, go get the money. Says Canelo has problems against counterpunches. And he does, because, you know, we saw what Floyd Mayweather did to him. He said, I don't believe Bud's going to come in that heavy. He said he's going to come in below 160. That would be smart, Jeff. He says, good night, pool counter, big up chat. He said, I believe Crawford already gained the weight. From now is getting used to carrying that weight. He even have enough sparring fights to get his body ready. You know what I'm saying? We know how Crawford prepare, and you're right. You know what I'm saying? Terence Crawford I do believe he's gonna make a great showing. But you know, we got to see how them punches land, man. With you know, I'm just looking at that Jermell Charlo fight, and even though Jermell don't have half the skills that Terence Crawford has, you know what I'm saying? It's gonna be interesting to see if Bud get hit. You know what I'm saying? What his body's gonna do, how he's gonna react, you know what I'm saying, to that extra weight and that power. Because you know, getting hit by 147 pounders, 154 pounders, getting hit by a super middleweight is different. You know what I'm saying? And like you say, I know he's been training, but it's different when you in the fight than when you in. You know what I'm saying? You going for the
Live
gusto,
action.
your emotions up. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Your emotions are in there, you know what I'm saying? So it depends on how his body reacts when he gets hit by one of those Canelo punches. And we know he's jacked up. He's a jacked up juice monster. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just going to be interesting to see. He says, let me see. I read that. That Holy Boy says, Tank fighting Jake should never happen, especially with him holding a title. Tank fighting Jake should never. Yeah. I was going to talk about that next. I wanted 2 Cent to be on here because I know
one thing and one quick thing on Crawford. I think Bernie the boxer said Crawford gonna come in around 161, which is smart. Don't try to come in at 168, like you said, and carry that extra weight and probably tie out in the second half of the fight and possibly get punished in the second half, maybe stopped. So he gonna come in around 160, 160, well, 161. He got to come in over the middleweight limit. 161, 162, where you can maintain your quickness, your fast hands, your athleticism, fast twitch muscles, and you can implement your game plan. Because I do think that Bomac, they're going to come up with a great game plan like they came up with a great game plan in 41 of his other fights that he was successful in. I think they're going to come up with a good game plan. I'll give the advantage to Crawford as far as training. I give Bomac the advantage over Eddie Reynoso. I think Bomac them gonna come up with a great game plan. They've been watching film of Canelo. They're gonna try to exploit his weaknesses. He got some holes. He's a great fighter, but he does have holes, and they're gonna try to exploit those holes. So if it comes down to a trainer versus trainer, I give the advantage to Crawford.
What you were saying? 2 cents. I want to talk about your boy Tank. You know, how do you feel about this Jake Paul fight? How do you feel? I heard you the other day a little bit about what you said about the business. How you know, I heard about it. I tuned in a little bit and heard what you said, but how do you feel about it?
I really don't feel no way. I said 4 months ago when the rumors started that I don't care if Tank goes fight Jake Paul for an exhibition fight. Is one fight. And I don't, and then I also said after the Lamar Roach fight, I was like, you know, he don't have to do an immediate rematch. That's not something that normally happens in boxing or something that people do all the time. So I was cool with whatever he did next. You know what I'm saying? And the fact that he's fighting Jake Paul, I thought it was highly unlikely. I didn't think, you know, they would be able to do like the cross networks and this and that. But again, it's not a network, it's a streaming service. So I think we're starting to see that things are a little bit more different. And maybe we will start getting more fights that quote unquote people want to see, because they might not have those same contractual restrictions that they had with the networks like Showtime and ESPN and stuff like that. So I was like, I don't care if it happened. I thought it was highly unlikely, but I was like, it's boxing, anything can happen. And this is what really got me pulled. When Mike Coppinger dropped that poster, and within like 15 minutes everybody knew about it, that's when I realized that this was going to be something that we've probably never seen before. And that's when I really, really got interested in it. It's not so much of the fight of of Gervonta Davis versus Jake Paul that I'm so necessarily so interested in. It's just the power and the impact of this that these two fighters have. And I don't think people really understanding what's really happening and going on with this event, because they're so focused on, you know, the quote unquote hardcore fans. Oh, you should be fighting for legacy. You should be fighting for belts and all of this other stuff. And Tank ain't fought nobody. He ain't doing this and he ain't doing that. And when in reality, if Tank wasn't doing things, if Tank didn't have a fan base, if Tank wasn't entertaining people, he wouldn't really be in the position that he's in. If Tank did what y'all wanted him to do, he wouldn't be in the position that he's in. And I think Tank is going to fight Jake Paul, and he's going to now move forward and fight all those fights that the people want him to fight. And they're going to be even bigger, because I believe after this fight, Tank will be a megastar. And the truth is, out of all of his contemporaries, Tank is the only one that's putting any effort into making those fights bigger, because they fighting overseas in Saudi on undercards. They fighting in the middle of the street at fights with no fans that people can't go to. They're doing all of these things, focusing on them and getting their bag, which I understand Tank is focused on him and getting his bag. But if Tank don't retire, think about the ramifications of him taking this fight and how much more attention he'll bring to himself and how much more attention he'll bring to the fights that he take moving forward. So that's my perspective about the fight. Like, I get the fan perspective. Oh, he should be fighting Shakur. He should be fighting this person. Why he fighting Jake? That's a fake fighter. I get all of that. I'm not saying I'm not understanding of that. But what I'm saying is there's a much bigger picture here that, because people don't take the time to understand the business of boxing or how it works, they just don't understand.
Tank better win. Tank better win the fight. I agree with a lot of what you said, 2 Cent. This fight is gonna make a whole lot of money. You know, Tank getting the bag for this fight. This fight might do more views than Canelo Crawford. If I had to bet, I bet it will do more views than Canelo versus Crawford. So, you know, I understand him getting the bag, but he got to get the win. He fighting a guy that's way bigger than him, way bigger. People want to say he a YouTuber. He taking boxing seriously, Jake Paul. He ain't some guy that's just off the street fighting. So he coming in there try to win, because Jake Paul is trying to get his respect. A lot of people don't take him serious as a fighter, even when he beat a so-called fighter in Chavez Jr. A lot of people say, "Oh, that's staged. That was fixed. That was a script." Chavez Jr. didn't throw his hands to the last round. That wasn't no real fight. So he looking for validation. He looking for legitimacy. So he coming to take Tank head off, and we put that on top of the fact that Tank talk trash about Jake Paul, saying Jake Paul ain't shit. Jake Paul ain't got no skill. Jake Paul is a fraud. Jake Paul got a point to prove. I don't care if it's an exhibition. I don't know if they're gonna have judges, but what I do know is Jake Paul coming to take Tank head off. But Tank got a high level of skill, much better boxer. Started boxing earlier than Jake Paul. His skill set is on a higher level than Jake Paul, and I think he will outbox Jake Paul to win a decision if they have judges involved. But he got to win this fight. He cannot get knocked out by Jake Paul. If Jake Paul knock out Tank, if he lose this fight somehow, some way, we all that him talking about fighting Shakur and all these other guys, they go out the window, man, because he can't come back from a loss to a Jake Paul, a guy that got 9 fights, and most of them fights were against retired MMA fighters, former NBA players, a couple of boxers that wasn't top level. So he got to go in there and take care of business. He got to go in there and get the win against this guy, even despite the weight difference.
For me, I can't take this fight seriously. I understand it's a business move. I understand it's a raise your profile fight, and I understand that this is a change in boxing where it's almost like it's globalized. You know what I'm saying? Where you got different streams of revenue coming into the sports, where you got YouTubers like Jake Paul out here interrupting the sport. I'm looking at boxing through a sport lens and not a business lens, and that's kind of got me where I am right now, because I'm so tired of the distractions. Once you start going down up the ladder of the fights that you need to fight, and let's say you get a controversial fight like you had with Roach. Now, if Tank would have went into the Roach fight and dominated Roach Jr., I would have been like, okay, yeah, go ahead and fight Jake Paul. Go ahead, raise your profile. But this was a controversial fight where Tank looked like he had some problems. No, you can't have that. You can't have no raise your profile fight. No, nigga, you got to get back in there and you got to convincingly beat Roach. You know what I'm saying? Lamont Roach. You got to show us that you got to beat that guy now, because that guy gave you some problems, bro. Even though I thought Tank was ahead until, he took that knee and he had something in his eye or whatever. And that made it controversial. Roach didn't look like all the Tank other fight opponents, right? He looked like he actually had a chance to win. So like Mayweather had to run it back with Castillo. He had to run it back with Madonna.
Madonna,
You know what I'm saying? You got to run them back when you're a champion on the level of Tank. And let me tell you something, Tank is a major star in boxing. He's a major star. He carries his own weight. He has his own fan base. So when you have a fight that is close as with Lamont Roach, no, it's not. Now it's not the time to raise your pro. You know what to raise your profile? Get in there and knock out Lamont Roach in 2 rounds, like Roy Jones, when Roy Jones got disqualified. You know what I'm saying? I forgot the fighter he fought.
That was Griffin.
He got
Griffin?
disqualified. Yeah, Griffin. And he came back and knocked his ass slap out with such a amazing slash uppercut.
Yeah, devastating.
That's what
he was
Tank
RJ. Remember he say, "I'm RJ. I ain't Roy Jones. I'm RJ." That was vintage Roy right there. I don't think nobody was gonna be Roy that night.
Tank needs to go in there just like Roy Jones Jr. did and show this dude, you ain't on my level. I'm finna get you up out of here. Get his ass out of there in the first round, and then go ahead and take the Jake Paul fight. You know what I'm saying? That, like I said, he's already who he is. I don't think, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, Jake Paul could probably, make him a household name or whatever. But as far as in the field of boxing, which is what he do, he's considered a real champion, a real fighter. Jake Paul is a novice. He's a clown. You know what I'm saying? I don't even like his personality. You know what I'm saying? Tell you the truth. But he makes money. He makes more money than get more views because he got the Caucasian persuasion. He's got the blonde hair. He talks a lot of shit.
Great white hope.
He's definitely a great businessman. He's a good promoter because he put on some good women boxing.
Oh, he's doing good for women, yeah.
Yes, sir. He does some great women boxing. But when it comes to the sport of boxing, when we're talking about the nuts and bolts of it, what makes this thing moves that makes us keep coming back and buying pay-per-views. You know what I'm saying? Tank is that dude. And we want to keep boxing pure, you know what I'm saying, away from the shenanigans. Floyd Mayweather, he's put in his years, he locked it down, and then he did his exhibitions. Then he started doing all these exhibition fights. Don't do that during your career.
This turkey
You know what I'm
fought,
saying?
man.
Say what now? What you say?
This turkey fought.
Explain. That's turkey foul. You say it's turkey foul? Okay.
Think about this, right? You got all these fighters that's doing this, and Turkey paying all this money, and he taking fight. Contrary to what people know or believe, Turkey is taking these fighters away from promoters because he's able to pay them so much money. He's taking fights out of the American market. The American market is going down. It's not doing too well. Got all this going on. So they decided to come together and put something big on. You feel what I'm saying? They're doing this in addition to trying to make the money to also compete and counteract Turkey. Because Turkey thought that he was going to have the biggest fight of the year with Canelo versus Crawford. You remember when he stole Canelo from Jake Paul, and he was tweeting and talking about wolves and sheeps and talking shit and all of this, and Jake Paul said, you know what, I'm going to make the biggest fight of the year. I'm going to make a fight bigger than Canelo versus Crawford. The announcement of this fight, it's been very strategic. And that's what another thing that I'm interested in is because they're competing at higher levels than what we knowing right now. If you think about it, they're not even using VADA. They using USADA for the drug testing. So I think that this is way deeper than, just visually what we're seeing or what we know, because of the way Turkey been moving around. And people been saying it themselves. The American promoters are going to have to come together and start doing bigger events in order to be able to compete with this, because they don't have unlimited funds. They have to be able to pull in profit to pull off events and pay people. So how can you compete with somebody that has unlimited funds to put on fights and do what it is that they want to do, that's not even interested in making a profit? So how can I compete, put on a big fight, and make a profit? Let's get the face of boxing and Jake Paul, who came to the sport with 20 million of his own fans. Let's get them together and make a fight. It solves so many questions. Jake Paul, now he's fighting a real fighter. You got the black and white aspect going on. You know what I'm saying?
But do it make sense on a sport level? It's like you said, I get it. It's a big giant event that's going to make a ton of money, but I think it hurts boxing. I think it hurts the sport as a sport. You know what I'm saying? We're getting further and further away from what I love about boxing. You know what I'm saying? Tank is 135 pounds. Jake Paul is what? 170?
It makes no sense, Paul.
He was 227 against Tyson.
Fight itself makes absolutely no sense. And that's why I thought it wasn't even gonna happen. Because I'm like, they're 100 pounds apart. How they even gonna fight? This shit don't make no sense. The fight makes no sense. It doesn't. Doesn't make any sense. It's just a spectacle. And
that's what I mean.
But we've always had things like this in boxing, though, Paul.
Yeah, but Tank is he's a little Mike Tyson. And he's in his prime. We don't want to see shenanigans when a fighter is in his prime. We want to see that dude go through some folks. Just like Shakur. We don't want to see Shakur, fight some Rudy Poot guy. We want to see him fight the guys that's going to give him a challenge. We want to see him fight Tank. We want to see Devin mix it up in there. These guys are the guys that need to fight. Why they haven't fought yet? Why haven't they fought yet? It's like, then we got Jake Paul, who's able to come in and put up a venue and put up money. So it's getting to the point where it's like, man, if you're not connected to the right promoter, it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. And go ahead.
The thing about it, Tank Shakur, it's a big fight. It's a fight. The winner of that fight be the best fighter at 135. But Tank Shakur don't make as much money as Tank Ryan. That's just a fact of the matter. It damn sure don't make more money than Tank versus Jake Paul. It don't make that type of money. So it's a fight for the hardcore boxing. I'm not gonna say it's casual boxing fans. Some casual fans know about Shakur. So it'll do some decent. It's kind of similar to Spence and Crawford, but it's not even big as Spence and Crawford. That's a bigger fight. It's a fight that both fighters gonna want to get paid, 20 million, but it's not gonna fight that's gonna generate the amount of money where you could pay both fighters 20 million in the fight. Well, pay Tank 20 and pay Shakur maybe 15. It's not gonna generate enough on the pay-per-view.
So then you would
back then
agree that
for the
Shakur's
fight
the
to generate
problem if
money.
he want that much money and he don't generate it.
Yeah, he would have to take he would definitely have to take definitely a pay cut. But even this, I say 20 million, Tank might not get 20 to fight Shakur. He might have to take 10, 12, 15. It's a big fight, but to me, it's not bigger than Tank versus Ryan Garcia. Tank versus Ryan Garcia did 1.2 million pay-per-view buys. Tank versus Shakur not gonna do 1.2 on a pay-per-view. It might do 500,000, maybe. It might do 5.
That's
maybe.
the problem. These guys are not fighting the fights on their resumes. You got to keep going. You know what I'm saying? It took Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather fought a lot of good fighters on his way up before he got to Oscar De La Hoya. You see what I'm saying? And so if you keep on knocking them out, Oscar De La Hoya fought everybody before he became the golden boy. You see what I'm saying? Well, he was the golden boy coming out the Olympics, but y'all know what I'm saying. You got to move up the ladder. Stop fighting all these no-name people. You know what I'm saying? Get in the ring and knock out your rivals in the division. And then, you know what I'm saying, when you get to that top guy, then it'll be something. But when you got a iffy resume, you know what I'm saying? And these are people, no-name people you don't know. We know them because we watch the fights. But the casual fans are the ones who are going to make the difference, because in this Jake Paul fight, they're going to break records. They're going to break records if he
But
fights.
it's his contemporaries that's the ones that's not putting themselves in you know what I'm saying? They're not focused on doing that.
I agree. But that's what I'm saying. The state of boxing is in a dismal state right now because these guys are not making the deals. They're not walking towards each other. The fighters can fight each other if they push for the fight. These guys are so lazy. You know what I'm saying? They just want to keep making money without, actually, antagonizing the other side and really pushing for it. Whatever happened to you? Remember when fighters used to go to other guys' fights and jump in the ring? Remember when they used to do that?
Oh yeah,
Remember?
Sugar Shane and Floyd Mayweather. I remember that.
They used to go watch them fight just to scope out their style, see how they, the timing, you know what I'm saying? And then they used to jump up in there, hey man, I want that fight next. What's up? What's up? I want that fight next, man. I'm gonna knock you out. And they start pushing each other in the ring. You know what I'm saying? That don't happen no more. These guys are so laid back. They don't care nothing about the legacy or the sport history or none of that shit. All they want to do is just make their money, chill out, you know what I'm saying, and disappear, go on social media, talk a lot of shit, which really gets under my skin. With Shakur Stevenson, he never shuts up, and Tank, his personality is just, I don't know, it's just janky and weird, but if you're gonna be that way, bring it to the ring. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna talk shit on social media, talk shit to the other guy. You know what I'm saying? Through the camera, after you knock out a nigga, be like, hey, you next, Shakur. You know what I'm saying? You next, Devin. You know what I'm saying? It's just, I don't understand this era of guys, the way they carry themselves. And I know everybody can't be, Sweet Pea. Everybody can't be Floyd. Everybody can't be Muhammad Ali. I understand that, but at least act like you want to fight. You know what I'm saying? And push for to show the people that you carry a picture. Shakur should carry a picture of Tank and punch it. You know what I'm saying? When he's doing interviews. You know what I'm saying?
Like Muhammad Ali did with the gorilla with Frazier. Yeah,
what
right.
I mean? But these
Yeah,
guys seem like they don't have the interest of advancing themselves through their divisions. You know what I'm saying? They just want to strategically cherry pick. And that's what bothers me. That's taking the passion out of the sport. I understand that they're finding different ways to make money, to make events and pay-per-views, but that don't excite me. I don't want to see. I probably wouldn't even watch the Jake Paul versus Tank fight. You know what I'm saying? I hate Jake Paul. You know what I'm saying? Jake Paul is just a sucker to me. You know what I'm saying? I think it was Carissa Shields who told him to fight a real fighter. You know what I'm saying? Fight a fighter your size. Go fight Bivol. You know what I'm saying? Go fight David Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? Now,
Ramirez. You a cruiserweight. Zerdo Ramirez. Jay
yeah,
Apatow. Yeah.
yeah, I would watch those fights. I would watch that. I would pay for that to see Jake Paul fight some of them guys. Some guys his own size, but he know better. He know better. He know what would happen to him. Especially Bivol. Bivol been waiting to get at somebody, especially since
They wouldn't
Canelo.
even sanction that fight, Paul.
You don't think so?
Hell no, they wouldn't even sanction him to fight Anthony Joshua in the UK. That's why they not fighting.
Now, you talking about with Jake Paul and AJ?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Jake Paul them saying they still want to fight AJ. They want to fight Tank in November. They talking about fighting AJ
But
in
I heard they
February or
couldn't
March.
fight him in the UK because they ain't sanctioned the fight.
Yeah, they gonna fight, but AJ gonna come to the United States though. That fight gonna be in the US if he fight Jake Paul. Jake Paul, he A side. He A side. But AJ ain't fought in United States and he fought John Ruiz. He went back to the UK and fought over there in Saudi Arabia.
Ward was talking about he want AJ.
What you think about Ward coming back? I think Ward. Listen, Paul, that whole little clique and crew over there. I don't really fool with them like that. But I'm like Andre Ward. You've been out the ring for 8 years. You're 41 years old. I don't know what y'all doing over there with Victor Conti, but why you think you're finna come back and be the active fighter?
Yeah, everybody think AJ. They think it's AJ sweet though. A lot of people calling out AJ.
AJ is a wobbly weebly.
I don't like AJ. I don't like
AJ. AJ, soon as he get touched on that damn chin, that motherfucker going down. You hit that motherfucker.
That's why Jake Paul want to fight him. Jake Paul think he hit him on that chin, he can put him to sleep. Man, they think his chin is a Amir Khan level chin,
That boy there, he got a glass chin, bro. You hit him anywhere in the head, that boy going down. That I don't know. He got some kind of head issue. He got a balance issue. He's just not I never thought he was a top heavyweight. I just think
they kept away from Wilder. They knew his chin was shaky. When Wilder was in his heyday, that's why they kept him. That's why Eddie Hearn and Barry Hearn, aka Papa Hearn, that's why they kept him away from Wilder. They knew his chin was shaky. They know Wilder gonna hit you on that chin. You ain't going 12 rounds without getting hit with that right hand. When Wilder was in his heyday, they already knew when he touched that chin, it's over. The golden goose that would have been all over with.
AJ used to be like when they mentioned when they mentioned Lomachenko fighting when Tank used to hear them talking about they gonna fight Lomachenko. When Mayweather told him he was gonna fight Lomachenko, that nigga started getting scared like that. You know what I'm saying?
So he said he trying to set him up. Yeah, that was he wasn't talking like no fight. He should have said, "Shit, come on with it, bring the smoke." Yeah, I beat that boy like Cerrito beat him.
I had more faith. I think Tank could have got Lomachenko. I just think he just didn't have the confidence when he was younger. That would have been a hell of a fight because
they couldn't make that fight contractually because of the network contracts. Like,
Loma was school. Yeah, Tucson, right. Loma was school with top ESPN.
Yeah, they couldn't make the fight because of the network contracts, and as soon as they were available to make the fight, then Loma retired.
Yeah. Tank would have had to go over there and fight on ESPN. That wasn't happening. The PBC wasn't going to send him over there. He ain't Porter. They ain't sending the top guys over there.
Lomachenko was talking cash shit back then. You know what I'm saying? He was talking cash shit back then, boy. He wanted Tank. That was the one he wanted. And but AJ, you know what I'm saying, and Ward, that would be interesting to see. 41, he don't really have much to lose as far as legacy, you know what I'm saying, especially if he's fighting a heavyweight. AJ has already lost, lost badly in the ring. So, that would be an interesting little matchup to watch, see if Ward still see what he got left.
I think we got like a year or two of these jump up weight fights, old fighters coming back before people just realize, okay, that's enough of this. Like, you not really
some of that. Ward wants some of that Turk money. He wants some of that Turk money.
You heard it's like Zab Judah coming back. Who else they said?
Yeah, Zab coming back too.
It's like 5 or 6 old fighters coming back. I'm like, what is everybody doing?
That's crazy.
They want some of that.
He was a black prime.
They want that Arabian money, baby. They want that oil money.
Yeah, they want that turkey bag. They missed out on it when they was fighting. They just say, "Shit, turkey around here." I wish turkey was around when I was fighting. He around now. I'm gonna still come back and get some of that money. So that's
But
crazy.
don't be surprised if you don't see Andre Ward with a turban sitting there with the damn Turk. God damn it. You're gonna be sitting right there just because AJ never leave that dude's side. Y'all peeped that yet? Every time you see a fight, AJ be sitting right there by the Turk.
I was telling you that shit, AJ and Frank Warren, they be sitting right next to that boy.
They be sitting right next to him. I said they must be got some plans for AJ or something, man, because or he's gonna take a back.
AJ supposed to go to Ghana. I think his next fight gonna be in Ghana. He had his people over there looking at some locations. They talking about him and maybe Tony Yoka. I'll be like, damn, I want to see him and Bakoli fight. Bakoli, that's where he's from. But they talking about him and Tony Yoka fighting over there in Ghana. Early next year, late this year.
Mm-mm. Now that his mystique has been broken, that's gonna be a dangerous fight for AJ. He's gonna be taking L's all over the goddamn world.
Yeah, especially Bakoli. Bakoli got power. Bakoli come in shape, he can knock out AJ. But they talking about Tony Yoka though. They ain't talking about Bakoli, which is crazy. You fighting over there in Africa.
What's the top ranked heavyweight? What's his name? I'm getting old, y'all.
Torres.
No. The black, the young black heavyweight.
You talking about Big Baby Anderson?
Yeah, Big Baby Anderson. Man, did y'all see that fight, man? He got destroyed.
He got destroyed by Bakoli. That was the best fight of that card. That card was it looked good on paper, but when you look at the action on the card wasn't all that great as far as action. But that was the best fight on the card was Bakoli. Bakoli, he destroyed. That was George Foreman, Joe Frazier 2.0. He knocked down Big Baby about 20 times in that fight. That was devastation.
What the hell is going on with Big Baby, man? It's like no balance, he don't know what to do. He just stopped panicking. I was like, wow. That put Bakoli on the map, man. He should have took that and ran with it, but he came in his next fight. Well, he took the Joe Parker fight on 1 day notice, so he wasn't ready for that fight. He got knocked out. But then when he fought Ajagba, he had time enough to get himself in shape. He came in that fight out of shape, and that was a draw, but he really lost that fight. That went to a draw, so he back to the drawing board. But I think if he come in shape, man, he's a dangerous fighter. I would like to see him and AJ fight over there in Ghana, but from what I'm hearing, they talking about him fighting Tony Yoka over there in Ghana, AJ. So I'm like, so who does top
man, I don't want to see that really.
Who does top rank have?
Top rank as far as heavyweights.
No, I mean as far as anybody. I mean, who do they have now?
They had Keyshawn was their star, but then he acted a fool, missing weight, and started fighting people backstage out in the hallway and acting a fool. Jumped the boy in the locker room because he beat his brother. So he on the shelf. They done shelled him because he cost Top Rank a whole lot of money. So they got him on the shelf. So they really like you say, Murataya, I guess that's their top guy now, Murataya.
Out of control. I was like, when I saw that shit, man, I just closed my computer. I was like, man, Keyshawn is a clown, man.
Wasn't that crazy, Paul?
Yeah, he is a clown, bro.
Have you seen his most recent interview? Do you still be watching my shorts, Paul?
Yeah, I do.
I just did a baby Keyshawn from the most recent interview he did. You got to go watch the most recent interview he did. Mm-hmm. You're gonna be like, this guy. I think
didn't Lomachenko call him a monkey or something? No, he was just no.
That was Teofimo.
Yeah, Teofimo and stuff. And he talking about because Teofimo backed him up, and called him, and he's all feeling good about Teofimo Lopez. Boy, if you don't get the hell on up out of here with that.
That's the interview I'm talking about.
Okay, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I needed that. Yeah. I was like, bro, I said, you an idiot.
He still said he still denied when he beat up Albright in the locker room when Albright was celebrating with the team.
Maybe he can't say it out loud for physical reasons, but he just still sounds stupid. Just be quiet.
We ain't jump him. We ain't gank him. I'm like, what that boy had a big old knot on his forehead, golf shape knot on his forehead. Where they come from? He ain't had that in the fight.
I'm telling you, them Popeye boys, they slow. I'm telling you. The way that boy be bucking his eyes and stuff, something wrong with him. Because his career should be a lot further than it is right now. If he just stayed on the grind, he would be, and I think he should fight. What's the boy name? Abdullah Mason. He fighting Abdullah Mason. I think that would be a good fight. I'm not sure if Abdullah is quite ready yet. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how many 12-round fights. I think he'd have about maybe 2 10-round fights, and maybe have he went 12 rounds yet?
I don't
I
think
think he
he
fought
did 12.
Nakatelia. He fought Nakatelia in the last fight when Keyshawn, fight fell through. He was a main event. I think that was a eliminated. That might have been a 12-round fight.
Now, if Keyshawn and Abdullah fight, that would be great for Top Rank. That would be great. Then you got Andy Cruz out there. So that's who he needs to be thinking about. He need to be thinking about beating Andy Cruz because Andy Cruz looked damn good.
He looked good against that Asian boy, didn't he?
Oh man, damn man, that boy looked smoother than a motherfucker. He looked like Blade out there. I was like, and the nigga
Abdullah Mason, he fighting on that Turkey card February 22nd. He fights Sam Noakes for the WBO belt that Keyshawn Davis had to drop because he couldn't make weight. So he's gonna become a world champion.
That card, and you see a card like that they're doing in Saudi. Like, why would you do a card like that in Saudi with all those big name fighters and up and coming fighters? Why would you take them all the way to Saudi to let them fight in front of 5,000 people?
Yeah, in the daytime on a Saturday with a lot of people out and about doing other things. Just got off working the whole week. They moving around trying to take care of business. So that's bad. That card should be in New York or Las Vegas, something like that for sure.
Hey, 2 cents. Andy Cruz, them goddess braids. I never seen a nigga with goddess braids.
Yep.
I don't know what he got going on, man.
That nigga look like them. They look like goddess braids, man. I was like, this nigga here is different. You know what I'm saying? But I would love to see them square off. They just need to get it cracking, man. It's like they making boxing, boring. All this waiting around, all this promoter, all this promoter talk. Who's gonna get who? All these exhibition fights. You know what I'm saying? We need to get back to the sport. But the problem is, it's just the promotion stuff is just so look at Boots. You know what I'm saying? Boots should be, fighting bigger fights.
I agree. I think Boots should have focused on becoming a star. And before he tried to get all those belts, in my opinion, because he's high risk, low reward. And you hear a lot of people say that, and they want a lot of money to fight Boots. But he hasn't built himself to generate that. So it's almost like he has the star power, right? He could have did it.
Mm-hmm.
He could have built himself up to be a big name and be the money fighter. So now that more people will be willing to fight you theoretically because they know they'll get paid a decent amount versus you running around with Eddie Hearn trying to pay people $250,000, which I understand is a lot for fighters because they don't normally get paid that. But is it worth it to fight this level of competition?
Right. Well, I think Virgil Ortiz has fought enough of those guys at 154 and that they could get a Boots introduction to 154 to fight Virgil Ortiz. Man, that would be such a beautiful fight.
I don't think Oscar is in a rush to put Virgil Ortiz in there with Boots.
He fighting Erickson Lubin. That's gonna be a good fight, though. Him and Erickson Lubin, that's a good fight. November 8th, that's a good fight. That's a 50-50 fight in my opinion. People sleeping on Lubin.
I'm not really high on Lubin, man. Lubin, to me, he just be missing something to me. I don't know what it is.
He's got a weak chin.
He got to shake with that chin.
He got a weak chin. When he get hit on that chin, boy, that boy start. But he always recover and get his elusiveness back. But when you hit him on that bell, man, that nigga, he's to start wiggling and his knees got to start going. But he got good skills. Don't get me wrong. He got some good skills. He just need to get out of that. The same punch that he got knocked out with by I think it was what Jermell
Charlo. He got him in that first round. He got caught with a shot.
He got to stop that little dip shit he does, and he still do it.
He in a temple. He got caught in the temple.
He still do that little dip shit, sometimes. I seen him kind of getting away from it, but he still does that little dip stuff. And, he get hit by that mid-range or that uppercut, man, and he's got that weak chin. You seen what Fundora did to him. I don't know about what it is, but the uppercut is his kryptonite. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That is definitely his kryptonite. So, but he got some good skills. Lubin gonna give you a hell of a fight. That's one thing about him now. That's what I love. He's not scared to go in there and mix it up. He ain't scared into the box, and move, and he ain't scared to get into the pocket and bang. So that's what I love about that guy.
He the
He
best.
is a
That's
hell
the
of
best
a fighter.
opponent that Virgil Ortiz and fought. He's the best opponent. Virgil, he beating there with Boychek. Boychek good, and he fought. Virgil Ortiz fought Maurice Hooker. He fought
Maurice Hooker ain't shit.
Green Beans. Thomas Delorme, but Lubin is the best fighter that Virgil Ortiz fought, and he's lost to the top guys. He lost to Fundora. He lost to Jermell Charlo. He probably took that fight a little bit too early. He probably should have got a little bit more experience, but PBC really thought highly of him. They thought he was ready for it. He got caught with a shot he didn't see and got knocked out. And ever since then, he ain't never really fought for a title. He been in a bunch of eliminators. Now he finally got a chance to fight for an interim belt because he turned down the fight with Barkram because Barkram fight wasn't going to generate the money that he was going to get in the Virgil Ortiz fight. So I think it's a good fight. Now, the fight is in Fort Worth, Texas. It's going to be a hometown fight for Virgil, so he's not going to win no close fight. So he got to go in there and dominate that fight if he's going to win it because he ain't winning no close decision in Fort Worth, Texas.
I just left Fort Worth. You know what I'm saying? And the traffic is ridiculous. He might win the fight, but you're going to have to live in Fort Worth because them bitches be crowded. You know, yeah, but Virgil Ortiz, he has been coming along. You know what I'm saying? He beat them not German, but those the wood choppers. He's been fighting some good ass fights, some exciting fights. So I give him his credit where it's due. He's starting to come into his own. You know what I'm saying? He's still getting hit, but he's not as careless or reckless as he was before. He's starting to improve a
Yep.
lot better. So I think he's ready for a Lubin fight. Lubin, you know what I'm saying, he's going to have to, you know what I'm saying, go in there and get on his A game because Virgil is definitely a sharpshooter. You know what I'm saying? He's strong. You know what I'm saying? I could see that being a hell of a fight. I could see that. I think Virgil will get him though. I think Virgil will get Eric Lubin. Because
I think Virgil gonna get it. I think it could be. I think it might go to the scorecard, but it might be a competitive, a lot of close rounds, a lot of swing rounds. If that's the case, Virgil get the decision. But Lubin is a live dog. He kind of starts out. When he fought Holmes, he kind of started out kind of slow in that fight. He can't do that with Virgil. Virgil come out the fight with a house on fire. He come out like a house on fire in this fight. So you can't come out there trying to work your way into a fight. You be down 4-0 after 4 rounds. So he got to come out and get it going early and then establish himself. And he got power because Lubin got about 19 knockouts in 28, 29 fights. So he got decent power.
He knocked Fundora down. He knocked Fundora down, and I think that's what really messed him up because he thought he could stay in there on the inside with Fundora, and that's what somebody told him wrong, and Fedora hit him with about 18 uppercuts. You know what I'm saying? And it was like that Rocky moment. Get out of there.
He did an interview about that. He said he basically wasn't listening to his corner, and he felt like since he got knocked down, he had to knock Fundora out.
I told you. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I'm like, how? Like that's dumb as hell.
But did you see when Fedora got knocked down? He got on his knee and he let his head clear. You know what I'm saying? He listened to the count. That's a smart guy. That's a smart. That is a
Those
smart
guys
fight.
messed up and they jump up too early. They don't have their legs together. They want to jump up. They want to be proud. They got their pride kick in. They only, I ain't finna be on the can. Let me jump up right quick. No, man. You got 10. You got the 10, man. Get yourself together. 6, 7, 8. Get on up. Then you got yourself together. You got your gatherings back. You can get back in the fight and try to win the fight. But you jump up quick, you're gonna get knocked out, and then you're gonna get put to sleep and the fight over. So that would a lot of that. Joe Frazier was like that. Joe gonna jump up against George Foreman. Jump up quick, man. Stay down, man. Get yourself together, man.
I never seen Lubin beating the
jump up
at
quick.
54 though. I never seen Lubin beating the elites at 54. Like, what champion can he beat at 54?
Yeah, 54 is loaded. He's 54. I give him a shot against Fundora, now he lost to Fundora. Bachram, I give him a shot to get. People talk about Bachram. Bachram had one great fight. I'm not finna jump on the Bachram fan train. I'm not finna jump on it. He could be a great fighter, but everybody talking like he just arrived and he just this elite fight off a win over Tim Tszyu, and we've seen that Tim Tszyu is a good fighter, but he's limited. He got stopped by Fundora, so he's just a guy, So I don't want to give him too much credit for that win, but I want to see him against another opponent and win. Then I might be able to buy in like everybody else buying in.
A big middle finger and said F you. Not only did they crush Canelo.
Come back.
Lubin been going up and down. You don't want to go up and down and wait. You know what I'm saying? At the late stages, in your career, because that's gonna take a lot out of you. You know what I'm saying? And for him to go back down to 154, I think that'll be devastating to him. He need to go ahead and stay up where he at, because he wasn't doing too well down at 154. Right now, 154 is so goddamn competitive. Yeah, I think this will be a good fight for him, man. Just to get his stride back, to get a W.
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's like I said, I think this is the best opponent on Virgil Ortiz resume. It's a good opponent. And the month of October was a good fight. So you got boots on Lima.
Wasn't his last fight at 160?
Who?
Or wasn't I thought Lubin went to 160 at one time, didn't he?
I don't know. He had 154.
He was looking at your boy. He was looking at your boy to fight up there at 160.
Yeah, we're talking about him moving up and fighting maybe Lara fighting Atomized because that's when both of them was PBC. But he's been at 154.
But 154, you know what I'm saying? Look, this would be a good fight though for him, Cause I don't think he got by. I think Lubin only have a couple of fights left in him.
Lubin, you would think he started so young. He number 29. Remember, he started when he fought Jermell Charlo. He was like 20, 21, whatever he was. He started young. He was on the scene, kind of like Boots. He was on the scene at an early age. He's been around so long, he's still in his late 20s, like Boots is.
But fighters age depending on the punishment they take. And what I'm saying, on the losses and stuff like that, what I'm saying, they age, what I'm saying, internally, And Lubin just look like he's kind of like getting a little wear and tear on him and stuff, He still look good. Don't get me wrong. He still looks good.
Lubin took a lot of ass whoopings, man.
Yeah, he's starting to look like.
That Fedora fight took a lot out of it. They probably took 2 years off his career. That Fedora fight. But he beat Jesus Ramos. Jesus Ramos is a real good fight. I wanted to see him fight Boots in the contract to his little brother. But he won that fight. So, but man, Lubin, it's a good fight, man. I'm happy that fight got done. Virgil Ortiz couldn't get the Xandar Zayas fight because Top Rank trying to get him a homecoming fight in Puerto Rico. So they weren't trying to put him in there with somebody like Virgil. So Virgil pivoted. He got a real good opponent, Plan B opponent in Erickson Lubin. So I'm looking forward to that fight. I'm also looking forward to the Fundora Keith Thurman fight. That's gonna be a good fight.
Y'all think Zaya on that level, man? I don't think he on that level. He's a good boxer and everything, but you don't seem to. You know what I mean? He's a pure boxer. I don't think I ever seen him knock out anybody.
He's a solid fighter, but I don't think he could beat. I don't think he could beat Fedora. I don't think he could beat Boots. I don't think he could beat Virgil. I don't know about him and Bachram. Like I say, the jury's out on Bachram. I'm not gonna jump over. I'm not gonna jump to conclusions off of one fight. He beat Tim Tszyu, man. Yeah, but I don't know why people talk about it. I hear Paul and Malignaggi, all these other people. Oh, Bachram is the top guy at 154. Based off of what? Off of one fight over Tim Tszyu? A limited fight. He's a good fighter, but he's limited.
He's a white supremacist. Of course, anybody that look like Hitler, in the ring, he's gonna vote. He's gonna scream bloody, greatness for. He already said that. Yeah.
They talking about he the next author, Better Beeb and all that. I'm like, what? Better Be put in work, man. That man beat us. That man beat Gosrock. He beat my boy from the PBC, light heavyweight, the boy that beat Badu Jack. I can't even remember his name. He beat him, man. Better Be beat Yard. Better be some top notch people, man. That boy,
ain't Yard fighting David Benavidez?
Yeah, he about to be November 22nd. That's gonna be the headline for that
Yeah,
loaded championship caliber card though.
yes, sir. Yard, he run out of gas. That's his
Yeah,
only
y'all gonna
problem.
be dangerous for the first 6 rounds, but if it go past 6, it's David Benavidez all day. Got the 6 rounds. It's all David
Oh
Benavidez.
yeah, he's gonna get destroyed, man, because Yard can box his ass off. He's just a front runner,
But
One
you heard what Turkey say. Turkey say if Benavidez beat Yard and better be fighting on another card against Nicholson. If he beat Nicholson, Turkey say he want to make Benavidez Beterbiev April 2026. That's gonna be the fight, boy. That's gonna be crazy. You get Benavidez versus a Beterbiev, that's gonna be. Now you talking about a 50-50 fight. That's a 50-50 fight. That's gonna be crazy.
I think better be, man. He's coming to the end because ain't he like 40 years old? He's like 40.
Yeah,
Yeah,
You
he
he's
know,
ain't been in
40.
no wars though. He ain't been in no wars though. He like Crawford. He ain't been in no wars. He 40, but
He
he like a
still
young
get
40.
old though.
Yeah, but if you
yeah.
ain't been in no wars, you
And
could be
then they
34 and be in
found,
wars and be over with. Your career be pretty much
and then
done.
they
You
then
could
he
be
came
40,
up with
41
that
and be in enough wars and still be at a high level.
he came up with that testing, that weird text testing thing that they tried to sweep up under the rug. You know what I'm saying? That
The adverse findings.
hmm It's like they use this highly technical jargon when they catch somebody juicing and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's like all of a sudden it's this vague language and stuff. It's like, come on, bro. We found corn syrup in your blood, bro. Come on now.
What you
Come
think about
on.
Moses Atuma?
By who?
Moses
Moses Silva, he
Atuma.
destroyed Dylan White in 1 round.
Oh man, I ain't even watched that shit. I hate Dillian White. Um, I hate English fighters, bro. I really do.
Dylan White, man, you see how he was reacting to the punches he was getting hit by Toma. He was getting shot with the punches. It was like, come on, man. He
I
was
mean,
blocking, but the way he was acting, though, he ain't got no chin. His
this
career
is
was based on PEDs. He's on them PEDs. He beating some guys like Joseph Parker, Oscar Rivez, doing shit with the gloves and all that. But when he got found out about them PEDs, man, he's a C-level fighter, just like Ryan Garcia. He's a C-level fighter. Margaritas too. Them guys that was cheating, making them like they was on another level, but when they got found out and then they had to put on work with their own natural ability, they wasn't too much of a nothing. That's what I look at with Dillian White. He's just a C-level fighter. That's all he is.
I think this is the first fight he actually worked out. You know what I'm saying? I think this is the first fight because usually coming in and looking like a fat fool, and he actually had some definition in his body this time. I was like, what the hell is going on?
Oh yeah,
You know
he
what
was
I'm
in
saying?
tremendous shape. He was in great
Yeah.
shape, like, but the chin has
Yeah.
always been suspect.
How is it when you fat, you know what I'm saying, you win fights, and then when you actually get in shape, you get your ass beat? You know what I'm saying? It's like, make that make sense. Make that
Yeah,
make
he was on PED when he was beating people like Joseph Parker and Povetkin. Povetkin was 2 drug cheats fighting, so I guess it was even when he beat him. But he beat guys like Joseph Parker and
like
beating Oscar
this.
Rivas and guys like that. The man was on PEDs and he got found out. He got busted for PEDs like on multiple occasions. So he's a fraud. He's a fraud, man. That's all it is to it. Fraud guy. And when he ain't on PEDs, you see what happened. He got knocked out in dramatic fashion by a guy that's a solid fighter, Toma, very talented fighter, but a guy that ain't really been in there with no top level opponents. He went in there and freight trained them, stopped him with no problem. So I want to
Let
see
me ask,
a Tama fight a Joseph Parker or somebody like that if he can't get Usyk. If Usyk gonna fight a couple of fights before he retire, but if he gonna only fight one fight, then I wouldn't mind seeing Usyk versus a Tom Knicks.
let me ask you guys a question. What is going on with the career of Devin Haney? What's going on? You
He
know,
fight Brian Noble Jr., right? Got to give him credit for
that's what I,
Brian Noble
that's
Jr.
what I hope. I hope that's going to happen, but it's all kind of controversy around this fight. I'm just like, what is the hatred? This is a good fight to me. You know what I'm saying? I think that's a good fight. We know Brian Norman got bricks in his hands. You know what I'm saying? And we know Devin is elusive. This gonna be a good fight. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be kind of difficult with him coming off the way he got handled by Ryan, of course. But this would be a good fight for Devin to get back into the game. He beat Brian Norman. I think that's gonna give him a boost. But now if he go out there and get his ass knocked out, should he retire? You know what I'm saying? Or should he just keep going? What do you guys think?
Yeah, if Brian Norman knocks out Devin Haney, yeah, he got to really. He's so young. I think he probably will still continue, but all that trying to put. See, when they throw up names like Tank and Shakur, they put Devin in that same category with them. But if he
Right.
get knocked out by Brian Norman Jr., you can't put him. You can't stop putting him. Stop mentioning his name. When you start talking about Tank Shakur and Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. No, you got to take Devin Haney's name out the equation. If he can get knocked out by Brian Norman Jr., you can't mention him in the same sentence with Tank and Shakur and Teofimo. He got to take him out of there. So that's what's on the line for him in this fight with Brian Norman Jr. It's a 50-50 fight. He's the better overall boxer, but I think Brian Norman Jr. gonna win, because what people are missing about with Brian Norman Jr., they talk about his power, but what separates Brian Norman Jr. is he's got great timing. Great timing. That's what Mikey Garcia said is great timing. Timing beats speed all the time. I think that's what's gonna be the difference in this fight. I think he's gonna time Devin Haney. He being a much stronger puncher. I think he's gonna stop that Devin Haney.
His inside game is tough, boy. He got a tough inside game. But Devin don't fight on the inside, so that's going to be interesting. How he's going to be able to catch Devin, that's going to be interesting. I mean,
if Devin Haney fight like he fought against Regis Prograis, it's going to be a good fight. It's going to be a good fight. I still think Brian Norman catches up with him with his timing and stuff like that. He's a good fighter, athletic, good boxer, good footwork too. I think his time is going to be the difference in the fight. But if we get to Devin Haney and fight Regis Prograis, he got a shot. Devin Haney do have a shot to win a decision. I will say that.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I just want these fights, y'all, to get going. So I'm so tired of waiting around. You know what I'm saying? It's like get to the business of boxing. Get to the next fight. It takes so long for these guys, to get into the ring. It's like, it's almost like they don't even want to fight. It's like they don't want to train. It's like, what is going on? You know what I'm saying? It's like, wow, it's just this new modern world where everything's connected, everything's on Instagram, everything is on X. You know what I'm saying? I be seeing it come across my feed and stuff, and it's just, it just hit me the wrong way, man. I was like, come on, man, y'all just need to go ahead, pull names out of a hat, do what you got to do, man. Just get into the ring and fight the next guy. We should have had these fights out the way. This is reminding me of Errol Spence Jr. and Terence Crawford. It just took them years to get into the ring. And then finally, when they finally happened, you know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, it's like it was just so anticipated. After that, it's just nothing could really match it, you know what I'm saying? Because it got hyped up so much. So, I want to see Tank. I want Tank to reach the pinnacle. I want Devin Haney to reach the pinnacle. I want and they all can make each other great if they just fight. And you got Keyshawn pop out ass. He could be in the mix. But these guys, they missed the mark.
Keyshawn wasn't even a champion for a whole year before he started cutting up.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like he should be so disciplined to get into that upper echelon of guys. You know what I'm saying? Because he could fight them too. You know what I'm saying? If he paid attention to his career and stopped trying to be a big shot before anybody even know his name. These guys are true characters. They they used to have PR teams. I think a lot of these fighters need a team around them. You know what I'm saying, to speak for them, to tell them how to act. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit is getting out of control. The only person who can speak for themselves is the GWOAT. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes she, the whole what's his name? What's that guy she going with?
Papoose.
Yeah. So that was a little crazy, but I think we kind of used to that kind of stuff in the black community. You know what I'm saying? But I thought that was a little weird, you know what I'm saying? But I can't stand that rap chick. What's her name? Remy Ma. You know what I'm saying?
Fat Joe, they came in there with Berlanga before he got knocked out by Shiraz. That was crazy. They came in there with the lean back. Yeah, he leaned back. He got knocked out. That was crazy.
Yeah,
But
I was like, damn, but the GWOAT be getting, boy, her life is. Whew, it's like, man,
Hey, you think? Hey, full count. You think Layla Ali gonna take the fight? That $15
she
million
might.
deal been on the table for about what 2 or 3 weeks. Layla came out and say, "Look here, I'm let you know if I'm gonna
Man,
do it.
that's
But
some
I'm
more
still gonna
BS
call
they
shots
on
on
over
me."
there on that side, Pool. Why
That's
are
a
you
what?
trying to fight? That's some more BS they on over there on that side. Why are you trying to fight Layla Ali, Clarissa? Come on now.
Mm-mm. And
She
she's
trying to do
still.
it. She trying to do a bigger event than Katie Taylor versus Amanda Serrano. That's what it is.
How
That's what
many
we trying to
times
do.
they gonna fight? Are they gonna fight 12 times?
Nah,
Somebody
they don't need to
tell me.
fight no more. Katie Taylor the better fighter. That's been proven. They don't I don't want to see that no more. Katie Taylor proved she the better fighter. So Serrano
I'm
need to
like,
fight somebody else. Katie Taylor need to fight somebody else.
God dang, man. It's like watching Ali and Frazier 12 times. Jesus Christ.
Yeah. That third fight wasn't good. The first 2 fights were great fights, fight of the year candidate type of fights for women or in boxing in general. Those fight of the year candidates. That third fight was Katie Taylor. She schooled us around on that third fight. That was like
But
it was like she
Serrano
was on
up
another
there?
level.
Ain't she like 90 years old or some shit? Like, how old is
Yes,
Serrano?
yeah, Serrano older, but Serrano was out there trying to box. Serrano should have fought the same fight she fought the first 2 fights, but I guess she didn't want to take the shots to get close to
Right.
Katie Taylor. She didn't want
Yeah,
to.
as
She
you
wasn't
get
willing to
older,
put her
man,
chin on the line
can't
like she was the first 2 fights.
you can't keep taking punishment like that, fight after fight. You know what I'm saying? It's like you gotta fight different, You gotta take it easy.
Yep.
Mhm. But we're gonna start coming back on. I paid for my subscription, you know what I'm saying, and everything to StreamYard. We are gonna be coming back on more often, you know what I'm saying? Because we got the fights coming up, you know what I'm saying? Full kind of boxing,
3
getting
weeks.
back into hmm? Say
3
that again,
weeks.
JB.
We got 3 weeks. Crawford Canelo 3 weeks away, so we got a little gap in between the fight. But we'll get toward that. We get toward the fight week. Get to toward Tuesday, Wednesday. It's you're gonna start feeling the buzz and everything. It's gonna be wide up. We got a good undercard. I think they got a card the whole week. Starting Thursday or something. Thursday, Friday, they got a card. So it's gonna be good once we get to Tuesday. Then we get to Thursday. They start having fights all the way through Saturday.
So you know how we do, you know what I'm saying? We get excited about this thing, and we're gonna be covering the fights. We're gonna have those nights where we cover the fights and everything, and we're gonna get everybody coming back through and everything and get it going like we had it. And I got my spirit back, boys. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be talking that talk. You know what I'm saying? You know how we do.
Yeah.
JB, he'll be here. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I know the other guys wants to work it out. We're gonna be coming through here and we're gonna be rocking it, man. We're gonna be hitting it up and we're gonna be doing our thing like we do. And so y'all spread the word. Pool Counter Boxing is back. Your boy, you know what I'm saying? He's in the house, you know what I'm saying? So let everybody know, keep your notifications on, and I'll be seeing you guys in the near future. All right, peace out, everybody. You
All right,
know what
peace,
I'm saying?
poor Colin, man. You take care. 2 Cent. Take care. Y'all take care. Peace.
No doubt, no doubt. Peace out, everybody.